Man, I used to play the trap spot, propped on the block like I was part of the backdrop. Now it's scale, props, effects, and backdrops. The right lighting, you never catch me biting. Say you make it look so real when you pose the biggest fighting. I caught lightning, stuck it in the detour. Replicate epic scenes from the Creed War. Compose pieces with artists that span the globe. Fearsome foes, Spidey in the picture perfect pose. Insert the comic book cut out to shoot a show. Oh, you ain't know? Yo, everybody know me. I made nerds cool, cool nerd like my man Zoe. Took the everyday display, gave it a spark. Welcome to articulated comic book art.
That's crispy.
Everything's wrong. The stress of my modern office has caused me to go into a depression.
Depression? Isn't that just a fancy word for feeling bummed out?
Dwight, you ignorant slut.
Yo, what's up, girls and boys? It's time to make some noise. To the back and I'm on this track now. Let's talk about some plastic toys. You can bet I pose them all. Legends to Dragon Balls, Batman and Kaijus and Kamen Riders. I collect them all. Gotta make sure you're posing psycho. Make sure your lighting's right, yo. Keep it contained because you train for this your entire life, bro. So please don't adjust your TV. This is your host, March Easy. Sit back and relax and learn this fact. Posing ain't easy.
Toy Fair 2017. We just finished up the. Go ahead, Matt. I don't know what I'm saying. Yeah. I love it. Sure. Thank you. Appreciate it. I'm gonna send you one. Give me your card. It's like an old G.I. Joe shirt. That's what it looks like. Exactly. All right, you ready?
Yeah, we're good.
Cool. No, who was that? Really? Oh man, I'd love to send him a shirt. For real.
Man, I used to play the trap spot, propped on the block like I was part of the backdrop. Now it's scale, props, effects, and backdrops. The right lighting, you never catch me biting. Say you make it look so real when you pose the biggest fighting. I caught lightning, stuck it in the detour. Replicate epic scenes from the Creed War. Compose pieces with artists that span the globe. Fearsome foes, Spidey in the picture perfect pose. Insert the comic book cut out to shoot a show. Oh, you ain't know? Yo, everybody know me. I made nerds cool, cool.
No, we're not live yet.
I think we are because Poncho's here.
It still says start broadcast.
Oh.
We still don't have the coming soon screen.
He said when he rejoined we would be live.
Yeah, still nothing.
Yeah, we're here. We're good.
Oh hey.
We're live?
Yep.
No, we're not.
We are. Don't worry. It won't say it here, but it'll say it on my screen.
Oh shit. The stream hasn't changed yet.
Why does it still say off air on my shit?
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. We're live.
Alright, well, fuck it.
F5.
Yes, sir. We're officially back at it. This is Book Nice coming at you with the Articulated Comic Book Art Podcast. This is episode 72. Is it 72?
Correct.
72. All right, we back 2 weeks in a row. Last week, these guys were doing a thing without me, and it was a good episode. I listened to it the next day, so kudos to you guys. And we got a couple of topics to hit on real quick. I guess you probably heard us rambling about some other shit at the beginning of the video. And if you did, we don't give a fuck. I don't care. So, yeah, Who's up first? Who wants to talk about what they got this past week? B, what you got?
I didn't get shit. Kind of been taking it easy, honestly. Actually, no, I'm lying. That's not. I didn't. I did get stuff. I got like a big ass pile of loot shipped actually. And that was I got the obsidian wave in there. Just been sitting on that for literally forever. I got the Mortal Kombat Shao Kahn was in that pile of loot. Who else was in there?
Did you open that?
No, it actually will get here tomorrow.
Oh, okay.
But while it's fresh in my mind, I wanted to talk about it, I guess. So I got that. Let's see what else. I got the I don't know who else here. Probably Rick. You'd be the only person here to be into this. Those Digimon Digivolving Spirit line. Do you mess with that at all?
Oh, I have them in my pile of loot. They're so sick.
Hell yeah. I got the Diaboromon.
They're good figures.
Yeah, they really are. I got the Diaboromon. He's the only one I really cared about, honestly, just because I already have a Wargreymon and a Metal Garurumon, but a Diaboromon is awesome, and I have an Omnimon, so I got that, and then the Angelomon is in that shipment that's coming to me. Pretty stoked about that because you can essentially take all, like, for those of you who don't know, this Digivolving Spirits line is like a transforming line. So like it'll transform from its first, like, not its first Digivolution, but a previous Digivolution to a next one. And like just with any like transformer, like it's gonna have a ass of kibble everywhere. But the cool thing with like this Angelomon is like you can just take all our kibble off, more or less, which is like what really got me into this one specifically. Then I got a Majin Vegeta coming in that pile of loot. Coincidentally, my two Amazon Majin Vegetas that I pre-ordered that I totally forgot about came in this week too. So I'll have like 4, which is excessive. I don't know why I have.
Quadruple up.
And then I'll have the SH Figure Arts Iron Spider-Man, which I'm pretty stoked about too.
Nice.
That's basically it. Also, that third-party Captain Ginyu supposedly shipped as well from AliExpress, but I'm holding that. I'm taking that with a little grain of salt at the moment.
That's the purple dude, right?
It's the purple man. You're correct.
It's the horny purple man.
Yeah, dude. So I don't know if I'm just getting taken for a ride or anything, if it's a scam or a fake listing, but I mean I've had nothing but success with AliExpress with this seller before, so I'm what do you call it? I'm keeping pretty posy about it.
You're optimistic.
You're the guinea pig, man. If you get it, then we'll all buy it.
That's it. But like the thing that's kind of like keeping me, the thing that's got me kind of worried is because I haven't seen any pictures of this Ginyu anywhere. So like obviously like the cats overseas would have gotten it by now or anything.
Yeah, people in China should have like taken pictures of it.
Yeah, so I don't know. It said it just shipped. I mean, what might be happening, if I want to keep the most optimistic point of view as possible, is whoever is selling these just printed out all the shipping labels all at once, and he's like just going through and just packaging everything up, and then they'll take it over or whatever, and then they'll ship it out, and just no one's gotten it yet.
Well, I hope you don't get got, but if you do, then you took one for the team.
That's it. That's what it's all about.
I have a friend who would do pre-orders on eBay, and what he would do would be that he would print a label for the item, even though the item isn't going to ship until like way later.
Yeah, funny you bring that up because there was one guy listing the pre-orders for these Ginyus a while ago on eBay, and it was a pre-order listing. And he said in the description, like, hey, when you buy this, I'm gonna have to mark it as shipped, even though it's not actually shipped. You will get a real tracking number later down the line, but just to be transparent, I will have to mark it as shipped. But then like a whole bunch of people were like, yo, the tracking number you gave me was fake. and they got his account closed down, and like nobody knows if that dude was like legit or not, and we will never know.
Yeah, you know, it's because when you have more than, I want to say 25 transactions from eBay that are longer than 30 days that don't have a tracking number attached to them, your account is immediately flagged.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, and all your funds are withheld, whether the buyers said anything or not. The system recognizes you like that.
System.
Just buyer beware. At least the seller made note of it, because otherwise that's some shady shit some scalper could pull.
Exactly. That's
Say,
true.
oh yeah, I totally printed the label, it's getting shipped, and then just ghost you.
A little bit of a light at the end of the tunnel, but I mean, AliExpress has really good like buyer protection and stuff like that. They give you, I know with some special cases, they give you up to like 90 days, and if it hasn't come in 90 days, then they'll just give you your money back. You can open a dispute like as soon as like they'll track it, like you should receive your package in like 25 or 30 days or whatever, and then once that period of time is up, they'll send you a reminder like, yo, did you get it? And then I mean, I've always gotten my shit, so I'll say yes, and then they'll be like, all right, cool, just checking up, you know. Pretty much. But
all right,
so
what about you, Fabio? Anything this past week you want to highlight?
Yeah, I got a couple things. The day after I'd bought all the NECA stuff, like the Pennywise that I got last week, the Part 2 Jason from Friday the 13th went out.
How the Pennywise hold up after a week?
You know, it's funny. It's getting super hot down here. Like, it's been over 100 degrees the past 3 days.
Yeah, welcome to the rest of the country.
Yeah.
The plastic's getting all soft, and I came back home, and he was already on the floor, tumbled off the shelf.
A nightmare situation for you.
Yeah, he was all right. He bounced back.
That's good.
But I did get the Part 2 Jason, you know, in the overalls and the sack head. You take it off, he's got like the long red hair and like the messed up face. Comes with a little fireplace, or like a little campfire, which is kind of cool. It's an ultimate version, so it's got, you know, full articulation. It's got some good accessories, a bunch of weapons like a pitchfork and machete, and the severed mother's head. And yeah, that little campfire is pretty cool. Goes well with the Friday the 13th accessory set if you have that already. And then my comic shop had a Mezco Commander Rogers just sitting there collecting dust. So I was able to get a good deal on it, and I just picked it up for some custom fodder. And that's it.
All right.
How about you, Rick?
Just got a bunch of random shit. I swear, there's like some rogue Target employee that's finding people's stashes. Because I went to my Target again, and just like last time where I found Cable and Cyclops just sitting, I mean, not Cable and Cyclops, Cyclops and Wolverine there. I went into my Target, there was literally no other DC figures except for Jessica Cruz. And she was just sitting there, and I was just like, what the fuck? Like, it was just, I'd never seen that wave in a store before. And it was literally the only figure there, the most wanted figure from the wave. It even kind of resells a little bit. Not anything crazy, I think like $30, which is like barely making any money after fees and whatnot. But like, it just, something's happening, because the figures that people would want just keep on showing up on pegs by themselves with like no other trace of any other figure. Really, really weird. Not sure what's going on, but that Jessica Cruz is like on their new bodies. And man, I don't understand what it is with toy companies that think that we really want females to bend backwards well, but not crunch forward. Like, I don't understand. Like, the range of movement is really good crunching backwards, but there is literally no movement forward.
That's just DC.
Yeah, like, what? What is happening? Yeah, it is not great. I feel bad for anyone that would pay over the exact retail for any of these DC figures, because it's annoying, and her effects are probably the worst effects I've ever seen. It's supposed to be like Green Lantern constructs, and they look like slime. They look like what just fell on a kid after he lost in Double Dare.
Oh, speaking of which, Double Dare is back on TV. Did you guys catch an episode of that?
My brother loves it.
My daughter's watching it all the time.
Yeah, it's really popular.
It was pretty. I was pretty surprised to see that they had the original host back. He's playing.
Mark Stars is back.
Yeah, he's playing second fiddle to some girl. But
the Vine star Liza Koshy.
Oh, that's who she is. I asked my daughter who she was. She didn't know. She's a Vine star. Okay.
Yeah.
Vine doesn't even exist anymore.
Well, whatever.
It's coming back.
What kind of credential is that? Like, why does she get the host?
But yeah, he's like the co-host, and she's like the main host, basically.
Yeah, he kind of like leads the way, like, Liza, tell him it's the next game, and then she's like, hey, it's me.
I feel like they kind of like, I don't know, maybe they got to build up again or whatever, but I don't feel like their set is as extravagant as it was back in the day, or as like robust. It's not like it seemed bigger.
Small.
Yeah, it seems small now, right? Yeah.
I think they do it to save money because it does seem really, really small.
I thought I was bugging, but yeah, we sidetracked to the Double Dip real quick. But
let me know when Legends of the Hidden Temple comes back.
Oh shit, that was my shit.
Hidden Temple. What was that other one with that blonde lady? Figure It Out. Figure It Out. That was good too.
Yeah, Figure It Out was cool too.
Back to what we bought.
Now we suck, guy.
Did I mention last week the Doc Ock with the Old Man Logan jacket?
Yep.
Yes.
Yes.
I got another Marvel Legends cable. I don't know why people don't want them anymore, but I'll take it at $20 a piece.
You know what? I picked up one a couple weeks ago too, and I was trying to flip it, and nobody wants it.
Yeah, so. I don't know what the fuck happened. It's not like there's 8-figure cases of cable right now. People just literally don't want it anymore. They can barely sell it for retail. It's insane.
Damn.
Somebody was like $20 shipped, and I was like, well, if you want to lose money, cool. And I picked it up immediately. And all these cables I have, I vary them. Like one of them has a cloak, doesn't have that weird like gimp collar, and then the other one like has everything it originally comes with, and then another one has a metal hand that I stole from an extra Deathlock of mine. And yeah, good figure to vary slightly the looks of. What else did I buy? Oh yeah, I got a Misty Knight. Terrible. I found it at the local Goodwill for $2.99, and I was like, well, I'm kind of an asshole. I don't pick this up, even though she's more cross-eyed than a person who was just slapped. Yeah, I have that, and I have an extra Rhino tour, so I'm probably gonna put up on a page somewhere. What else did I buy? I don't think I bought anything else. It's been pretty light. Oh no, wait, I'm lying. I bought a Morbius too. That was at Goodwill too. That was $2.99 as well.
Oh wow.
Yeah. I don't know if people know this, but Goodwills have a contract with Target that when Target can't sell something anymore, whether it's because it was too discounted and they don't want to go any lower, or that it was returned by someone and supposedly quote unquote faulty, they give it to Goodwill for free, and they use that as a tax write-off. Yeah. So a lot of the time you find a shitload of things at Goodwill that are just all Target stuff. Like my sister bought a bunch of baby stuff and resold it on like Let Go when she went to her Goodwill because it was all brand new from Target. A bunch of seats called Bumbos.
Yeah. Lisa wasn't called Bimbos.
Yeah, not Bimbos. Not Bimbos. So yeah, you ever see like when Greedo and Leia were super discounted? I found those all at my Goodwill too, and I left so many of them like an idiot. Well, just an idiot on the Princess Leia's. Yeah, and I feel like a total fool for not just buying them all. I got one, and I was like, well, why the hell would I need another? And I think that's all I bought. I don't think I bought anything else. It's been pretty light. I've been playing it pretty light.
I don't know if I got anything this past week, honestly. I was supposed to get stuff, but I didn't close out I didn't ship my pal of loot, and I didn't pay for my my Ami shit until a day or so ago. So I've still got the Mayfex Scarecrow and the Lonely Gourmet and SH Figure Arts Obi-Wan Kenobi coming this week. And I also, yesterday, a few figures from the Sauron Build-A-Figure Wave got delivered to my job. So I'll get those tomorrow. And yeah, I don't think I bought anything this week. I did go out on a hunt to check Walgreens and Dwayne Reed's and whatever. And I had posted about this on my Instagram, but I had hit up Walgreens close to my job, and they had one of the figures from the Apocalypse Build-A-Figure wave, which I'm going to get through Hasbro Toy Shop anyway. I was really just looking to get an extra Wolverine or to get extra multiple men, but they had Gladiator, and so I was surprised to see that, because this Target never really has shit. They always have the same shit on the shelves, which led me to believe that the employees were taking the shit. And sure enough, that's what it was, because I spoke to one of the guys, and he was like, "Oh, nah, we don't. He basically just admitted that they took the shit, basically, and was like, "Oh yeah, these look dope, so we stashed them, we put them aside or whatever." Like smiling at me, telling me this shit. I'm like, motherfucker, like what? Like you idiot. And he like pretended like he was going to the back to look for more, and was like, "Oh no, this is the only one or whatever." So I'm sure he had all of the shit stashed in the back or whatever. But
man,
I just left.
That's a better experience than my Walgreens. When I called, I was like, "Hey man, I got the number for them. Can you let me know if they're there so I don't drive for nothing?"
Mm-hmm.
The guy's like, "Nah, I don't want the number. What is it?" I was like, "What?" I was like, "Nah, bro, this makes it easier so you know, and you can also tell me if there's any in the area." "No, I can't do that, man. Just tell me what it is." And I was like, "It's an X-Men, but just go with Wolverine." And he was like, "Dude, we don't sell X-Men here."
Wow.
And I hung up. Yeah, and I called another Walgreens, and they gave me the same spiel, kind of, but in a nicer way. Like, "Yeah, I don't know how to look up with a code, sorry, but I don't see any Wolverine here."
It's so funny because at work, at my retail job, we do SKUs too. But like when other stores call to ask for a SKU, like me and like my associates are like, "Yo, just tell me what it is. Don't give me the stupid fucking SKU number. I don't just tell me what it is." Like,
right. Like, but I mean, it works for you because you know your shit.
Yeah,
so you're
exactly.
like, tell me what it is because I just know. But these motherfuckers don't.
Oh yeah.
They on some bullshit. But yeah.
Yeah, they sell like dozens and dozens of different types of goods. Like at my job, we sell like 2 or 3. So so a SKU number is useless for us.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it's just so funny where the guy's just like, "Just tell me what it is."
Just tell me what it is. And the worst part was that I was like, you know what? Maybe this guy knows shit. Maybe he's used to pop collectors and he already knows the deal. And I was like, we don't sell X-Men here, bro.
Yeah, just blame the pop collectors for that.
Yeah, I was like, man, dude, that's what I thought to myself. I was like, dude, is it because pop collectors call all the fucking time with fucking SKU?
Definitely, dude. That's what happens at my Walgreens. I go in looking for, Mr. Fantastic or whatever, and I'm looking through the toy section. I see nothing, and I ask a girl, "Hey, do you guys have any of these in the back?" She's like, "No, we don't have any Funko Pops." Like, she gets that question all the time.
Oh my god.
We don't have the chases either. Stop asking. All right,
chill out. I wasn't looking for Pops.
Yeah, how long have Funko Pops been rocking right now? I think I asked this before, but I'm trying to compare it to like other shit that has come and went, like,
Well, they have that documentary on Netflix now.
Really?
I'm not about to watch a Funko documentary.
Just go ahead and watch that documentary, Bug.
Yeah, watch that and we'll find out.
Yeah, give me 5 minutes. I'll be right back.
Love you, Todd.
Because I mean, like, what is the craze with these things, man? It's, I compare it to like Beanie Babies or some shit like that. Like.
Yeah, everybody I ask is like, literally. I'm a very big advocate about like, yo, fuck Funko Pops first of all. But like, I mean, there's always that exception. Like I can scream that from a rooftop, but like a close friend of mine will be all like, "Yeah, I mean, I fuck with Funko Pops, whatever." And like I'll always ask them, and everybody's answer is always the same. Like, "Yo, I don't fuck with toys. I'm not big into collecting, but I like this property and it's $8. And if I can have like a little thing on my shelf that reminds me of like, Jeff Goldblum in Jurassic Park and it's $8, that's totally cool." And I'm like, "All right, cool, respect. You're still a loser though because you fucking collect Funko Pops."
But it doesn't turn into a little thing on your shelves. It turns into 7,000 boxes in a corner or in a closet somewhere.
Yeah,
those people have a definite problem.
Make them for the architecture of your house.
2010.
There you go.
2010. Rick. Okay.
How was that documentary, Rick?
I just went on the Wikipedia. There was a lot of scrolling, man. I have a lot of like stupid knowledge about Funko I don't give a shit about. Like they relocated.
They started out as a bobblehead company.
What happened?
They started out as a bobblehead company.
Yeah, and I mean, fuck, they
All
really
right,
did some shit. Now they're like the kings of Comic-Con.
Yeah.
God,
I mean, I get it when these Funko Pops are sometimes have properties that literally don't have any other representation but Funko Pops. But when there's like people with like the Justice League and Funko Pop, I'm just kind of like, why wouldn't you just get the fucking icons or the DCUC?
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Yeah, those icons, those like Funko icons look like cool. Wait, no, icons isn't Funko.
No, DC
the icons.
What's that other? There's another line Funko does where it's way more detailed, and it's another
Legacy.
I don't know. No, it's not Legacy. There's
It
still
used to be called Legacy. Now it's a different name.
no. There's still like stylized like chibi characters and stuff like that. They do like mostly girls. Like they did Harry Potter, then they did like Harley Quinn and stuff.
Oh yeah. That line is actually not bad. Is it called like Funko Heroes or something?
Something like that. But that line is pretty cool because
they're like in a cool pose and they're chibi stuff.
Yeah, like I think the biggest thing for me with Funko Pops is like they always have a square head, they always have these dead eyes. And for a long time they were always in that one like whack pose, and they finally it's Rock Candy. James Lord just said it in the chat.
Rock Candy, there we go.
But like up until recently they always had that same whack pose, and they finally just started putting them in different poses. And like for a long time I was like, yo, what the like who cares?
Yeah, who cares about this? I'm over it. What else did we pick up?
Yeah, when Molly at the office has a couple, makes total sense. But like when somebody that collects action figures has like 1 million of them, I always question like, damn man, how can these get you so wired up? It's nuts.
Yeah, I think that's the root of it. Like you're going nuts over Funko Pops, but then you're importing 4 or 5 figures a month. Like there's bound to be some overlap, like
yeah, like a couple years ago at San Diego Comic-Con, just like I said, there was no other representation, and there was from the movie Scott Pilgrim a Sex Bomb box set.
Yeah. And
I bought it, and I was just in my head like, I'm keeping this because it's the only Sex Bomb thing that there is. And then I saw resale was at $200, and I was like, man. Fuck this. I'm sending it first class mail to whoever gives me $200 right motherfucking now. And sure enough, I sold it within an hour.
That's it.
And I was like, well, that's the end of my Funko Pops.
All right, we talked about Funko Pops a long time.
Yeah. What I want to know real quick, you got an off-topic section. I love it.
I did.
What I want to know is what people in the chat got, because I bet they got stuff that we didn't that we can talk about. Let's be interactive, shall we?
Let's
interactive podcast on YouTube.
No doubt.
So while we're doing that, let's talk about the SDCC Marvel Legends stuff.
I got it ready to share here.
Oh my goodness. Professional.
We have a system now.
Sure do.
It's all about implementing it.
Wow, now that's what I call a system.
So wait, is this 25th anniversary? Well, I keep saying 25th. It's 10th anniversary, right?
10th anniversary. This is just starting to pop up now. But this is the.
But these are not going to be part of any SDCC stuff.
No. This is just bundled along all the Marvel news.
Okay.
We'll get to the SDCC after this, but this is starting to hit at Canadian Toys R Us for $4.99 Canadian, which is about $75 US.
Damn, you Canucks are getting it all.
Yeah, so that's popping up, and then reviews are out of this 2-pack already. So.
Yeah, I've seen some pictures show up of these dudes in the group, but
Jacket doesn't look bad.
Yellow Jacket looks good.
Yeah, Yellow Jacket looks good, but I'm not really invested in any of these movie Marvel Legends figures, so you guys can have those.
I think it's the best Steve Rogers face sculpt you've gotten so far.
One thing to note real quick is that the helmet on the masthead is a separate piece from the actual head, so you might want to look to make sure that it's on there snugly, because one of the reviews I saw, it was kind of like not really flush. Looked kind of bad.
Oh, man. While you're talking about these figures, we should talk about the most, like, viral within the Marvel Legends community thing everybody's talking about now with that movie Ronin. Jesus.
Oh yeah, we totally.
Oh boy.
My God.
What's going on with that?
His shoulder pads are attached to his hood, so you can't turn his head without his shoulder pads coming off his shoulder.
Oh no! Wow.
Imagine Cable's shoulder pads being tied to his fucking head, and it's exactly the same.
Wow. Why would they do that?
It's pretty rough, man. And I love I love the people that are like really going out of their way to defend it. Like, yo, 5 years ago we didn't even have this figure, so just be glad with what you got. Like, I understand, but you have a reputation to keep up, and this is definitely damaging that reputation. Like, this is a classic "what were you thinking" moment. For sure.
Yeah, we're gonna have some questions about this.
It's funny because I just looked at a picture of that figure the other day, and I was like, "Oh, damn, this is a pretty nice figure." I'm not fucking with any of the movie figures, but it looks good. It looks very accurate.
Same thing.
Yeah, same here. I think we all thought the exact same thing. Yeah, here it is.
Look at that.
Ooh.
That's rough.
Wow, that's terrible. So couldn't you just X-Acto knife the shoulder pads? Or do the shoulder pads peg in somewhere though, or it's just all one piece that just sits on there?
Looks like it's just one.
Yeah, it's all.
Because if they peg in, you could just separate them from the hood.
No, it's all one piece. So you're gonna have to
like a big old hood turning around.
Yeah, you're gonna have to like X-Acto knife and then find a good place to super glue it onto your figure.
Wow, that is just really stupid.
Yeah, there's like a million threads over this picture in like various different angles.
Whose review is that?
This posted by Richard Navarro, but I don't know. Let me scroll through here real quick.
Yeah, it is just... You know what's the worst part of this all is that this is from the 10th anniversary line. What they're supposedly giving more money to.
Right.
Guys, look at that one good.
Well, no, they're not giving more money to it. We are.
That's true.
That's true. More.
That's what all the repaints and reused bucks give us.
Look at this
brand new sculpt.
Jesus Christ.
That's rough.
I mean,
when he spots a huge pair of gazungas passing by.
Here we go. Here's that classic comment. Well, I mean, come on. He has a good in, so if he turned his head in that direction, his face would be covered by the good, probably hood.
No.
So that isn't even a realistic one for him. I get it about the shoulder pads, though, but still, at least they gave us a Ronin. Like,
God, Jesus, that kind of talk has to stop.
Yeah, no.
At least they gave us a Ronin.
As an apologist, if I've ever heard one.
All you have to do is peg the shoulder pads to the shoulders and make the hood a separate piece. That's it. And you can move the hood with the head. Like
problem fucking solved. Hire this man.
But I mean, I get it. They want the molds to have as few pieces as possible. But that was not a corner they should have cut. No.
Yeah, that is a glaring oversight, to say the least.
It's crazy. You scrolled by something else I forgot to mention that I picked up. I picked up the spider bath just by itself.
Oh, nice.
On eBay.
Oh, yeah? How'd you do? Oh, I was about to say, how'd you do that? eBay?
Yeah, on eBay, so I'm pretty stoked
Look,
about
real
that.
quick, just jot this down. Make sure you have that question when you go to the Hasbro breakfast.
You know what's funny is what I was doing before we started was I was recording a video for the questions for Hasbro, basically. So that'll be up tomorrow, actually. So I'll have a video up where you guys can ask questions in the comments that I will then present to Hasbro when I get out there. So tomorrow, look for that tomorrow. Yeah, I said that in the video that I might have to do a little recalibration on some of the questions, but I'll compile them with my own questions and hopefully have a very rapid fire, rapid succession of questions because when I spoke to what the heck is her name? I can't remember her name. But when I spoke to the PR person for Hasbro last week, she made it a point to say it's a 10-minute interview. So we'll see what happens. Well, that's the interview. The private breakfast event is on Thursday morning, which is like the roundtable thing that they did last year, which should be a little more intimate and a little more a little longer, basically. And then Friday, I signed up for one-on-one interview, I guess, with Dwight, which is supposed to be like a 10-minute interview. But she told me it was a 10-minute interview last time, and she gave me the most time out of anybody. So,
all right, well, that's Ronin. Make sure you jot that down. We need answers. People need answers, Bug.
Just slide a picture of them across the table.
Right.
Basically. I'll come with my own lamp and turn out the lights in there and put the lamp right on directly on his face and shit and start grilling him.
Just cosplay as
What's the
this.
fucking deal, friend?
Where the fuck were you on the night of the 5th?
Pull a Russell and just bring the figure and then just twist it and then just hand it to him.
Fuck is this?
Which one of you fucknuts approved this?
Yeah, that's nuts.
All right, well, that happened. This happened, and then a little update on the set we saw the blurry pictures of that were accidentally leaked. It's the Defender set, but this is what the box looks like now.
They're just sitting.
Yeah.
Some photos here.
Wasn't Red Skull
this-
was announced too, correct?
Yeah, I'm getting to that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Does this look like something that's going to be that you'll be able to reuse, or this is just really snazzy packaging that once you open it, it's a done deal? Can we
You might
tell?
be able to reuse it. I remember the Raft box set. You could just take out the plastic tray and use that. Hopefully, it's something like that again, where these bubbles are just like floating in there or like slot in.
It looks like they're muscling in on extreme sets here, eh?
You're not wrong.
Watch your back.
You think you could do slightly thick paper cutout scenes? Well, guess what, asshole? We're in there.
We could even put toys in them.
I do kind of want that the actual train set from Extreme Sets, but I don't know if I have the patience to be fucking with it right now. But
And then here's a clearer picture of our Defenders.
Boys.
We've seen this. Just a quick update.
yeah, I'm cool. I'm okay. I'll get it, you know. But everybody's ready to make Iron Fist Tony Stark or some other cool person with sneakers.
Yeah,
Douchey
for sure.
millennial.
Everybody's about to have shoes now.
All right, that's that. Let's get to Red Skull, baby.
Is this new actor Red Skull, or is it still Agent Smith Red Skull?
Technically, this
That's a good question.
Brand-
Yeah, technically,
picture
it
would be
should still be the original dude. Technically,
yeah, it's First Avenger.
Oh, okay.
not that the face is gonna really like
Not
you'll
gonna
be able to
matter.
tell. Yeah,
Yeah. What if what if
Honestly,
down the line they do like a new Red Skull based off the new actor, and someone takes it to that to that guy to get it signed, and he smacks it out of their hand. Get the shit out of my fucking face.
the asshole,
We came with a robe, yeah.
Mr. Anderson.
It's the smell. Interesting. I like
so
that.
it's
I like his
slightly different than the retail release, because the retail release is, you know, the Army Builder pack. So it's got the 3 different Hydra heads and the Red Skull head. But this one comes with the trench coat, so this is like more clearly Red Skull, and the other ones are, you know, more soldiers.
What but this is 6-inch though, right?
Yeah,
Okay, all right.
this is part of that 10th anniversary set. Looks
Ooh.
all right. Paint looks a little better than the reviews I've seen of the single pack, but this is production. So, and then he comes with the electronic Tesseract.
That's an interesting choice.
Yes,
Yeah.
it is.
Comes with the Tesseract. Like that makes me think that maybe they'll just be doing scaled Infinity Stone props. Maybe?
Scepter's next.
Yeah, the scepter.
Well, they've been selling a lot of big replica shit
They sure have,
actually.
yeah.
So
They've been
So
doing
I
the
wouldn't know.
helmets, the gauntlet.
right, those things sell pretty well. So
It's not a bad set, but it falls into that category of like non-essential. You know, so if you're not an MCU guy, this is not the year for you when it comes to these exclusives.
Yeah, it's not a bad thing. You know, they're moving it up. I mean, I guess it makes sense. You know, they're pushing that whole anniversary thing, so doing things in line with films and movies. Like, that makes total sense. Just not for me.
I think it just goes to speak about how Comic-Con really is these days. It's not really so much like a Comic-Con anymore, so much as like a pop culture con. They're not just trying to make exclusives for like the Comic-Con people. They're making it for like, you know, the guys that are, or not just for the collector rather, but for the Comic-Con people that are just like there walking around. They're like, oh sweet, Red Skull with a cosmic cube in a box set.
Yeah,
Oh
this
sweet,
is-
Defenders box set. That's awesome. You know,
it's now the get exclusives and go to panels con.
right?
well, I'm hoping that the actual reveals for next year and things that's going to be coming out are way better than these freaking than these.
Phone's ringing.
Out there, Boog.
Huh?
Never mind. Someone in the comments just said that Hasbro has to make rules for these interviews when guys like Shartimus go and ask 1,000 questions.
Well, it's again, there's two different things. Shartimus can do whatever he wants in his own one-on-one interview, but in those kind of group interviews, then yeah, we gotta kind of share the time. But if they do it the same way they did it at New York Comic Con for the Thursday morning event, there'll probably be two groups of maybe like 6 or 7 people representing the different outlets, basically. So last year at New York, the group that I was with asking a ton of questions, so I got to kind of like boss hog a little bit, but yeah, we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. But yeah, you can expect the one rep from all of the major toy websites and outlets and shit like that. So we'll see. We'll see what happens.
Yeah. Anything else about Marvel stuff before we move on?
So yeah, I guess this is it as far as exclusives go. I kind of wish it wasn't. I wish that they would save one thing for last and it'll be some crazy thing. But I'm also guessing that because the exclusives are not nuts, that the reveals will probably be nuts. So I'm hoping that's what'll happen. We'll see.
And just for the people in the chat, this set is priced at $60, $59.99. After the show, a limited number will be made available via Hasbro Toy Shop.
They can keep that.
Yeesh.
All right. I guess we'll talk about Hot Toys because we got some pretty cool reveals.
Yeah, let's talk Hot Toys. I'm down for that. They're gonna have some of these things are gonna be exclusive at the con, right?
Correct.
But they end up going up on their website anyways, but they sell out pretty fast if they're desired.
Right. These are the two exclusives from Hot Toys. So first up, we got T'Chaka.
Yeah, that's sick.
This is incredible.
This looks dope as fuck, man.
You should get this.
You know what? I pre-ordered Black Panther and Killmonger for Hot Toys. So I don't know. We'll see what happens. I'll see how I feel when I get over there. If I'm able to get, I'm not going to give away my secrets, but we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens.
I'll give away mine just thinking out loud. I might want to get a second Mezco Black Panther and just do this to it.
Yeah.
I didn't think about that.
There you go. There's a freebie.
Next level freebie from.
But I do really like this whole getup. This looks dope.
And just so everybody knows, this is T'Chaka. This is Black Panther's father wearing the suit.
Right.
This is from when he shows up and kills Killmonger's dad in the beginning. Spoiler.
That's so fire.
What do you think these are gonna retail at? Regular price? Two something?
2 something, yeah. I'd say like 230, something like that.
I'm not seeing it here.
Got to be something like 230.
Let's see. Yeah, I wouldn't be so. It's got to be at least 200 for sure.
Which is interesting, being that T'Chaka is going to be the first to actually be in collectors' hands, and we still going to be waiting for Black Panther and Killmonger.
Right.
Good accessory loadout. You get the beads.
But I assume that getting this in hand will give you a really good idea of how the other ones will turn out.
It would have been nice if they gave us an unmasked T'Chaka, young T'Chaka.
Yeah, that would have been dope. Do they does Hot Toys normally do shit like that? Like well, they do, right? They put out stuff later with additional accessories or unmasked heads, right?
I'm not entirely sure.
Rick?
I don't know anything. Rick is gone.
I'll wait for a second. Yeah, they always do exclusives like this, and usually, thankfully, they're pretty non-essential most times. They're kind of like things you have to want to have, not things that you feel like I have to have it, or like there's no way around it kind of thing.
I don't know, man. If I was a Hot Toys collector, I would have to have this.
Like when they did that like gold Stormtrooper, like, you know, it's ridiculous. What?
Or the porcelain one.
Yeah, like it's cool, but like you don't particularly like have to have it kind of thing.
Mm-hmm. It's basically a retool of the Civil War Black Panther. And that's one of the exclusives for this summer. The second is the concept art Captain America.
Yeah, this is crazy.
Yeah, for sure.
Another case of like you don't have to have this, but it's cool if you want to have it.
But again, this is for people that are like at the show walking around like, oh man, this thing looks awesome. I can only get it here. Here's $250.
Boom.
Which suit is this supposed to be?
This is concept art from Captain America, the Winter Soldier, I think. No, from Civil War.
Interesting. Okay.
Comes with 2 shields, and I don't think I've seen this gritted teeth faceplate with anybody else.
Yeah, I've not seen it either.
I mean, I say that as someone who doesn't really follow Hot Toys all that much, but the little I do. Looks good. Could be a good, like, you know, MCU US agent.
Yeah, you finagle it right. That could totally work.
Maybe swap out that faceplate for a Batman one if it works. I don't know. I don't know anything about Hot Toys. I'm just spitballing here. Looks good, though, for sure. But I think we're ready to talk about some Tamashii Nation stuff, huh?
Oh, shit. My time to shine.
Let's do her. Get it,
Spotlight.
Give it to her, bro.
Let's go. Yeah, so...
our first galleries here of some of our exclusives.
Yeah, so they got Vegito. So apparently there's gonna be 2 Vegitos. There's going to be that. Yeah, you're on the picture right there. People are going fucking bananas over this difference. I don't know why. Simply because of the SDCC sticker that you see right next to his belt right there. One is going to be at the Tamashii tour that they're doing, and then one is going to be at SDCC. That's it. But yeah, these new boxes look crazy. These boxes look really, really cool.
You know what? When I saw this the other day, I thought somebody did some like fan shit and like painted
it does look
like
a fan box, honestly.
Also, notice the back of the package. It says Comic-Con.
Oh shit! Hell yeah!
Even the insert is exclusive. My goodness.
Oh my god!
Damn!
They're really taking this whole sticker culture to the next level.
It's nuts, dude. Like, yeah. I mean, the new boxes look really cool. If they do go for this new box scheme for, you know, Comic-Con exclusives, like that's just an extra thing for collectors. I mean, for a while now, like I remember a while for a lot of people. So with Kaioken Goku, he came out on the Tamashii tour, and then he was the SDC exclusive. But like the boxes, I think only the sleeve was different. So like the sleeve for the Tamashii tour was like a really cool 10th anniversary sleeve, and then the SDCC was just like the inner box with the sticker on it. But like this is a pretty cool compromise, I think. I think the colors look really good. Super glad the belt is a different color. I know that was one of my main gripes when that figure first came out. Hopefully, like they'll replace his hands to where they won't have fingernails on him. I'm not holding my breath. But we'll see.
Interesting. There's your comparison right there.
That's it. He's doing it up.
Pretty cool. Pretty cool. That's one.
Let's see. I have some photos as well.
Yeah. Cool.
Here we go.
I'll let you do your wheelhouse, young man.
This is the Broly comparisons with the newest one to the very right, based off of his what do you call it? Movie not 11. Movie 10. Movie 10 appearance. Pretty cool.
Whose screen am I looking at? Oh, we supposed to be looking at Fabio's?
We have the same picture.
yeah, Fabio. Mine is I'm just sharing it for the podcast. That's my bad.
I got you. Okay.
But yeah, Fabio has the same picture up.
Got you. All right, so these 3 Brolys are which ones?
So like the one to the very starting from left to right, the left is the very first release. The right is the one in the middle is his anime accurate colors for his first movie, so movie 8, and then the one to the very right is the anime accurate colors for the second movie he was in, which was movie 10, I'm pretty sure. Which was,
and the one on the far right is going to be the con exclusive this year, right?
It sure is, yeah.
So that means I've got these two already.
yeah, you got the first two. I mean, like,
for my money, I think the center one is the best looking one.
The center one is definitely the best and most iconic looking one for sure. But like that being said, I really do like this year's exclusive. As like a Dragon Ball fan, I really like this, and like I think we've talked about it countless times. Like when it comes to these con exclusives, like this should be just a very minimal paint job and like variant for like, you know, the
where's the plug
fans.
At? Plug it in here because you're not going to be on it. God damn it!
Parenting.
Where can we find you on social media?
Sorry, I didn't realize that I was not muted. But that's real parenting for your ass.
You know what I've been waiting for, Poncho?
What do you want for Rick?
I can't remember that old toy line's exact name right now because I just have bad memory like that. I know you will. You remember that like old Japanese toy line that came in like packages that were like thick, white, bubbly packages on the inside?
Super Battle Collection.
Yeah, that classic line. Like I would love to have con exclusives be like the Super Battle Collection versions with like weirdly gold hair.
Hell yeah, dude, that's what I'm talking about, man. Like somebody did a custom of like Super Battle Collection paint schemes where they just took like metallic gold paint and just repainted all the sand hair, and that looks so sick.
Oh my god, man, that sounds so super nostalgically cool.
It sounds rad for sure.
I want that. Sign me up.
I know. So the cell is also pretty interesting. Same deal, like the one to the very, very left, or the one to the very left is a the original. One in the middle is the perfect color that came out, and then the one on the right is an extremely reachable product where it's the manga colored cover accurate edition. These guys are really running out. And yeah, I mean the cell, whatever. I guess. I mean, I'll get them because I'll complete the line. But it's cool. I guess at the end of the day, it's cool. Out of these three recolors, this is like the least desirable and the least justified one. It's the most like.
I like the blue.
What?
I think it's good.
The blue looks really cool. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. Like, but I mean, if you're not a fan, like, you have no idea why he's blue for any reason whatsoever. And then when someone tells you, oh, it's his, he's accurate to the colors on the manga cover, you're just like, what?
Again, the classic, the average con goer that's just walking around, which is probably a Toonami era Dragon Ball Z fan, isn't gonna know the difference. He's
not gonna know anything. He doesn't give a shit.
And no difference in boxes with this guy, right? Just event exclusive.
Yeah. So this cell and the Broly won't be at San Diego Comic-Con.
Okay.
As far as we know, it'll just be Vegito.
Gotcha. Oh, it says SDCC here.
Interesting. So I mean, like, information is pretty sporadic right now.
Right.
I have no idea, but
it just says event exclusive.
They could be. They may not. It's just really spotty. I think the only one we know 100% right now is Vegito. But if the others were, obviously we wouldn't all be surprised, being that the other was done.
Yeah, so the event exclusive refers to their Tamashii Tour event that they're doing like all over the United States right now.
Do they usually do 3 exclusives?
No, this is the first year they've done 3 exclusives.
Okay.
By the way, these were all available this past weekend at AX.
All 3?
Were they? No way.
There's a big sign that says Dragon Ball Tour at their booth in AX.
Oh, out of here.
You're right about that.
So that's probably how Toy Art has them right now. Like,
I'll send you a picture right now. I even made sure to screenshot, and I was like, damn, they probably have the figures there. Because why would you put the sign that you're the tour if it's not on sale kind of
thing?
thing?
They've done tours so far. So like, I think Texas was a tour stop, but they weren't selling any exclusives there.
Well, to Toy Art's credit, they do sometimes get things early for these picture spreads.
I would imagine so. Yeah, no question. I'll do. I think It should just be easier if I just screen share real quick too. So
I'll turn mine off.
moving on from that, I guess. Oh God, I don't want to. Sure, why not? Moving on from that, so like, there's this list. So if you've gone to some of the cons and stuff, you go to the Bluefin booth or whatever booth, they'll have like a questionnaire of like who you want to see come up, and they'll kind of get like fan interactions and stuff. And this is the newest questionnaire that popped up at Japan Expo. It's pretty cool. So they're definitely talking about like talks of like SH Figuarts Jiren, Cooler, Bojack, Janemba. An interesting thing to note is every other questionnaire had Bardock on it, and they took Bardock off of this. So it's pretty safe to assume that they're working on a Bardock right now. It'd be pretty sick. And that also ties in kind of because they're showing some Dragon Ball movies in theaters this summer. So they're doing Broly, they're doing Fusion Reborn, and they're doing the Bardock TV special in theaters. So it would make sense that they'll show Bardock in theaters and then the total release. This is pretty cool. Pretty cool to think. This is just some more shit from Demonical Fit. He's working on Salza, a Raditz, and a Jace. What else is here? Oh, so this is the scale thing that we were talking about earlier. Rick, I know you got some shit to say about this as well.
Oh yeah.
Oh buddy. Let's go. What do you think, my man?
Christ. I mean, look at Gotenks' height.
Rough.
We all knew going into it. Like, I don't think, as much as I'm upset with it, I don't think anybody could be that upset with Roshi, just because we knew he was going to be huge. But Jesus Christ, man, that Gotenks is almost his dad's height. What? What is happening? And it looks so disproportionate. Like, he looks like really weirdly lanky.
He looks like
farther back, so that's even shorter looking than he really is.
You know what he looks like? He looks like a really muscular teenager instead of like a tween or something. You know what I'm saying? Like,
he looks like that white boy
tween
lives on your block that always drives his motocross bike down the street without a shirt.
So accurate.
Racist Rick.
Got him again.
Racist Rick is back. But yeah, he's too tall. No
he looks like the scale of like the Gohan we got, the battle damage Gohan. He's huge.
Nah, well, he looks bigger than that, actually.
Oh shit, yeah, you're right. I'm looking at him right now. He does look bigger. That's crazy, dude. And some people are bringing up. Let's see. I have the photo pulled up here.
So weird. What are they doing, man? Because I mean, if he was scaled down, he'd be fucking dope. You know what I'm saying? Like, what the?
Be crazy.
But they've already done a very small figure. The first, Gohan that we got. They can do that again, right? It sure doesn't make any sense.
I mean, like, the Gohan is too tall for Gotenks, but at least, if that's like the smallest you guys want to go with, like, your joint technology for some of these characters, then at least give us that Gohan body, because this guy is like so tall. He's as tall as Bulma. It's nuts.
It looks like he's even taller.
Yeah.
He is, yeah. The scale's kind of messed up because he's standing a little bit farther behind that Goku.
Yeah. And then, like, speaking of that, like, Bulma is out of... So, like, presumably, like, everybody in the Dragon Ball line is just in their own scale. Like, it's not official, but we can just assume that, like, Roshi, Goku, and Krillin are all in their own scale.
Charlie Brown.
Yeah, Charlie Brown, Krillin. They're all in their own scale. But now Bulma comes out, and she's not even in that scale. She's scaling with the Dragon Ball Z characters.
A sidebar real quick, but on topic, though. Freaking Krillin sold out dumb fast on the Japanese sites. But then it went up on domestic sites maybe like a day later. But yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah. He's so I don't know. Do you know if he's a web shop exclusive, Rick, or no? I think he's a regular release, is he not?
It's a regular release.
Hell yeah. So that's good news, if anything. So his price will stay low no matter what. But yeah, it's nuts that yeah, like Rick said earlier, we've known Roshi is huge. But like this Gotenks is just nuts. And then Bulma comes out and then she's not even in scale with the Goku. Like, oh boy. And I know
we always knew we were going to have a problem as far as scales go with this line, but Jesus Christ.
Yeah, this is
like, at least Goku and the new Goku and the new Frieza scale nicely together.
Yeah, they scale relatively well. Like, I mean, in a perfect world, the Frieza would be smaller than that, but like for what they're doing, it's fine. Like Rick said, Rick and I are huge advocates for. Don't like. I know it's like a hypocritical thing. Like, don't be too surprised when the scale is messed up with SH Figure Arts because Piccolo was their second release and he was out of scale. So,
all right.
So, what's crazy is that this Gotenks, like the legs, don't even look like the production picture's legs.
They look too long. So honestly, if his legs were just shorter, I think it'd be manageable. Honestly, you know,
it's crazy. If you look at the production right now, they're shorter and chubbier.
Yeah. Hopefully, this is just
that one on display is really weirdly skinny and long.
Hopefully, that's just a prototype on display.
Oh man, we can only hope, no?
Because he doesn't come out till what, October, right? So like, there's no way that they'd have a production, you know, ready for display. So who knows? I know I mentioned this earlier. I think probably in PMP, but like that Bulma being in scale with the Dragon Ball Z characters leads me to believe that they'll probably reuse some of her parts for maybe more in scale females. So
ooh, like, I would love a Videl from that.
Yeah, like maybe her torso and stuff will go to like a new 18 or something, if anything, you know, because that would be the only thing for me.
The reason behind they did this.
Yeah, for why would they even put her in scale with Dragon Ball Z characters if they're going so out of their way to make Dragon Ball characters a much larger scale? And like everybody is going to want to, when they get this Bulma, they're going to want to recreate the cover of the first manga with like Bulma and Goku, but Goku's going to be crazy out of scale. So that's really, it's whack. It's weird. It's strange. It's strange to me. But Boo looks great. He looks perfectly in scale to me. He maybe could be a little taller, but he looks great.
It looks like he's hunched over a little bit.
Yeah, he sure does. I remember when Boo pictures first came out, people were bugging out before they realized just how freaking huge Boo's supposed to be. But that's that.
Real quick, if we can go back to pickups, got a couple people chiming in that reminded me of something.
Oh yeah.
Go Hodge copped some more AI ninjas on sale. Anyone pick them up? Nobody picked up more ninjas?
I did not, Bug. You're set there, right? You got a whole bunch. Right? He's gone. Bug's parenting.
Yeah, they were. Well, for those who don't know, on 4th of July, maybe the day before 4th of July, the AI ninjas were on sale for 25% off. So you could get. I think the arm pack was like $13.50. The martial artists were like $39 or something. So if you wanted to like grab some individual pieces to round out your collection, it's definitely a good opportunity to do so. If you were trying to army build, get a bunch of ninjas, still not quite the most approachable price.
Yeah, I didn't buy any because I literally got all the ones I wanted from a friend who just out of the kindness of his heart literally gave them to me.
What?
Yeah, just like the greatest guy. Just
Rick's
randomly
best friends.
Yeah, all of a sudden this guy's the greatest man alive. And he literally gifted me all the ones I wanted. So I never really bought anything else.
Okay.
The first time that they opened up regular sales, like when was that, last year? I bought a couple random red ninjas, and that was it. And after what I was given, and those red ninjas, I didn't want anything else. I thought that I'd gotten what I wanted from it. But it was a sale. It was a 6 sale.
Yeah, it was definitely a good opportunity to grab some individual pieces.
Yeah, especially like even if you're a customizer, those arm sets for $13. Wow, that's great arms that you could swap for figures that piss you off for whatever reason, or that you want sleeveless looks for, that you want to sculpt on. It's a great deal.
And then Nico Hodge also got the Armorized Iron Man for $50. It's not bad.
Damn, that's a good deal.
Yeah. Let's see. Ray S got a couple of holsters and shoulder pads for Mezco Wolverine and Deadpool from customizer Milliworks. Never heard of him, but
I'm gonna write that down.
I've seen some good custom shoulder pads for Mezco Wolverine, because a lot of people didn't like those turtle shell looking ones on the standard release, and I guess the X-Force.
Some people are saying that GameStop is accepting pre-orders on these event exclusive figures. Somebody said that they just pre-ordered that Broly, which is
You work there. Check them right now, Poncho.
we're closed.
Tyler Stark, if he's in the chat, he might be able to check. I know he works there.
Yeah, Tyler, how are you?
Wait, so here in my state, we close at 6 on Sundays. That's not normal, right? We're just morons, right?
Yeah, that's not normal.
Closes early, but that does seem kind of early.
They close here at 8, I think, on Saturday.
Interesting. Now the town I lived in before, where I live now, we closed on 6 on Sundays, but we were forced to open at 1. Like here we open at like 11, but like the town I used to live in before, like no businesses on Sunday can open earlier than 1.
What?
Was it a dry county too?
Yeah, we were at Dry County. Yeah.
There you go.
You guys in those red states, you guys do the most.
It's crazy.
I've seen that Kevin Smith movie. I know what goes down.
And my targets at least, and I'm sure Fabio's have to be the same. My targets sometimes close like at 1:30.
Yeah, my targets close latest. Like the one that I go to here is at like midnight, I think.
Holy cow, we're an 11 o'clock store at all times.
And honestly, I'm thankful. There's been times where it's like 11:30, and I'm like, "Fuck, I need something from Target right now," and I have to like, rush over.
I was lucky going at 11. Jeez.
I thought I was like, man, I wonder if other Targets are open at 11.
If I miss it at midnight, there should be one that closes at 1 or 2. Let's see. Going back to the chat, let's go to CM Brock. He's got some flashback Mezcos, the glow-in-the-dark Space Ghost, and the light green Frankenstein. It's good finds, good finds.
Oh, yeah, that Frankenstein figure, man. It's still, to this day, one of the nicest figures they've ever done.
Mm-hmm.
I've almost bought that figure like 5 times.
Aren't they redoing Frankenstein in like the 112 collective style? Because that old Frankenstein wasn't part of this whole new wave, right?
Yeah, it was. It was.
What?
Yeah,
when
it was
I
112.
Busy, they had it in stores.
Oh, okay.
He heard Frankenstein and he's like, what'd you say?
Let's see. That is it for people's pickups. Somebody did ask about what we think of Legends prices going up. We're going to get there.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Legends prices are going up?
No, import prices. I misspoke. Perhaps. We'll get there, though.
Our Legends
we want to talk about
overseas?
DC real quick, because I got it pulled up.
Which one? Oh, the Justice League? Yeah, let's go there, I guess.
Yeah, let's move that little coin down.
So,
Everybody know what we're up to now. Rick, why don't you lead us on this, because you know all about it.
Yeah, I read the write-up. Well, at first, I was confused because some website reported that their Green Lantern from the Justice League Unlimited line was going to be exclusive to their site, and I was like, oh, okay, that's random but cool. Because I was gonna buy that subscription anyways, because I love Young Justice and I wanted access to all their stuff anyways. And come to find out, after Fabio had told me that he'd read otherwise, he was right. I looked on their what do they call it, press release, and all of these figures are exclusive to only be able to purchase when you buy their subscription service. So if you're not into their subscription services, that's just pretty fucked up. This is such a cool looking line. Even though it does have problems, don't get me wrong. They look true to the animation.
And just to clarify, by subscription service, we're not talking about a Matty Collector thing. This is a Netflix streaming service. For DC or for DC shows. It's called DC Universe.
Oh, is that what this is?
Yes.
Fucking weird.
And they're doing the first I've ever seen of it. Not only do you have streamable content from their old animated films, old TV shows, new live action films, but they're claiming that they're going to be giving you some of the DC library as a readable option when you have that application and the subscription too.
Insane.
So, like, it's crazy. They're doing like an all-in-one DC house subscription thing. Like, it would be really interesting if Marvel ends up doing the same thing and opens up an exclusive shop or.
They kind of do already with the Marvel Unlimited, where you get like the one free exclusive Marvel Legend every year.
Yeah, this is like a make you pay even more version because they're not giving you shit for free.
Right, because that's only comics, and then you get the figure or whatever. But this is, like you said, every DC film, TV series, and like everything past, present, and future, along with the opportunity to buy these if you have.
At the moment, we don't know like how deep they're going to get into the comics that they allow you to read for free. But if it's substantial, like Jesus Christ, if you were a fan of DC and you don't have the subscription, I'd question you.
So what does that mean for DC shows on other streaming services? Like, will they disappear from that? Like how Food Network did? Like once Food Network started their own shit, like
they did disappear.
It's crazy.
You might be right about that.
That would be wild. Like, what does that mean for like Netflix and Hulu? That's crazy.
Right, because the whole thing was that everybody wanted Young Justice to come back because it was on Netflix, and that was where the viewership came up.
They pulled a fast one on Netflix.
Now it's gonna come exclusively to this. So if you like Young Justice, if you like these figures, you got to sign up to the service.
Pony up.
Yep. You're not gonna get it for free. You're not gonna get it on something you already have.
So this is only available, like, you'll have to log in with your same login for your subscription, and then you'll be able to purchase these figures, I guess?
Right,
yeah, there's going to be a store tab, like a web shop tab. They even have, like, a quick, like, minute video where they kind of show you, like, the beta version of how you handle the site. And, like, up top, it's going to be, like, comics option, TV option, movie option, shop. And when you click the shop, they're going to be there to purchase. I'm sure they're gonna not all release at the exact same time, but that's nuts.
Something to note is that it's not even up yet. This service is not available yet. I think it becomes available in September.
Is DC Universe? I saw
Damn, DC is just doing everything they could do to fuck you over and make shit difficult.
Yeah, I mean, one of the biggest guys that was known, I'm sure, throughout any community, whether it be Instagram or Facebook, with Brandon I don't know how to pronounce the last name, Deschler, I don't know. But he's like, you know, the guy for Batman the Animated Series. He does such incredible work, and he always stood by their stuff. For him to be like, man, I'm not buying this fucking line, and I'm not buying this fucking subscription, is like, damn, you know, pissed off the fucking fan.
Playing the trailer right
now. You
know,
in a perfect world, they would recognize that he's like the front runner and doing any type of promotional shit with this, and they would send them this shit for free.
Yeah, like what? Why isn't that the #1 priority? Hype people up with his pictures.
Right. Instead, they repost other terrible fucking photographers.
Yeah, pretty much. That's what a lot of companies are
doing.
Yeah.
You want to get people that are iffy about this line in your subscription or not, because the way to do it is to have people promote it that are well known and that make your stuff look good.
I'm watching this trailer now. I got the trailer playing for the podcast as well. This is wild. So, like, those new properties that they show, like Titans and stuff like that, are they new shows?
Yeah, new show. That's a live action show. Doom Patrol is going to be live action. Swamp Thing,
Harley Quinn,
Young Justice. I forget, the Outsiders, I think is what it's called. Young Justice Outsiders.
Yeah,
animated, obviously.
So the sequel series. The sequel series to that animated series is still going to be an animated series.
Yes.
Okay, thank God.
This is season 3 of Young Justice, basically. Okay. And it'll be a service.
But then Titans is completely different.
Titans is totally different. Live action.
And Titans that's the same one where they had all those leaked pictures of Starfire and stuff, too? Same one?
Yeah.
Like he was turning tricks.
Interesting.
And Crystal Robin is right there also on the bottom right of the screen here.
Yeah, that Robin picture that's making rounds.
That's the official picture of Robin, yeah.
Crazy. This is nuts.
Yeah, this is an all-inclusive service. I'm not sure how much it is yet. I'm not seeing the price anywhere.
Yeah,
I don't know how much the individual figures are either.
Well, if it's any indication from what they've been doing over the past couple of years, as far as the prices of the Batman animated series figures, then these shits are going to be damn near $30 each.
Oh yeah, for sure. On top of the price you're already paying for the subscription.
So this
Right,
right here isn't like a pack. They're selling them individually.
Seems like it, yes.
You know they got to hit you in the fucking head, of course.
So fucking crazy. That's wild.
Yeah,
you know, because like a couple of years ago when they re-released a Justice League like all-in-one pack with like the DC Icons articulation.
Right.
But that didn't, from what I understand, that didn't sell at all. I remember that.
They had no accessories either.
Yeah, that got a price cut immediately.
And then there was another set that was the Rebirth versions.
Shit, yeah, you're right. And they were taller too.
Right.
That whole line is a mess.
They just stay fucking up.
I don't know what they're thinking, man.
I'm not seeing a price anywhere. You can sign up for the beta right now. Yeah, like we said, all those exclusive shows. Harley Quinn is an animated adult comedy. Like,
well, you know that you know, since the last time I got to chop it up with them at New York Comic Con, it seems like they just stock into action figures. You know what I'm saying? It was their TV and movie shit, I guess, but more importantly to them was statues. So
yeah.
And that makes sense, being as though these figures are pretty much statues. It's not like you're gonna be getting some dynamic shit out of them. So it's like, you know, they don't give a fuck about toy photography. I mean, you know, we could be kind of self-centered in our shit. Like, you know, we want everything to cater towards like photographing and A.C.B.A. and shit. You know what I'm saying? And it's just, that's just not what it is. But
this is shelf appeal for a lot of people.
Right. Yeah.
This is office drone with a desk like you. But
yeah.
Pretty much. Yeah. So
it's me too.
Well, real quick, while we're on the subject of DC, I forgot to bring up this Arkham Origins Deathstroke from Hot Toys.
Oh, this is Hot Toys?
Yeah.
Whoa.
Insane.
Looks nice. Looks very good.
Whoa.
This could be like your Deathstroke for anything.
Yeah. For sure.
Look at the texturing on this. I didn't even know that existed in the game.
When's this supposed to drop?
Let's see.
That's going to be a highly sought after piece right there. No question.
Yeah, I'm not sure when it drops, but like I said, it could be any Deathstroke. They got him paired up with Arkham Knight Batman here, not even Origins like he's supposed to be.
Fucking it up.
their own shit. It's not even like one of us posts this shit up. Come on, bro.
Is there an Arkham Origins Hot Toys Batman?
Yes, I think there is.
Oh god, then there's no excuse.
Then they really fucking up.
I mean, I don't know how well that thing is going to pose, but it looks impressive as hell.
Yeah, it looks nice. I mean, from the promo shots that they have here, it looks like it'll be pretty decent. Look, he's holding a fucking sword with two hands right there.
Yeah, that's nuts.
Bandana's got bendy wire, I think, so you can really mess with that.
I like how it's real. I like how it's real. What's the word I'm looking for?
Armored?
Just I don't know. I'm sorry.
It looks good.
Yeah, it looks good.
It's
exaggerated. That's what I want to say. I like how they really like, you know.
Oh, his cloth thing.
Yeah. The bandana. Yeah, it's cool.
Dynamic. Yeah, that's a good running pose.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like it's gonna pose up pretty well.
Pretty excited.
Shit, I mean, if it's as good as the Mezco, then we working with something. If it's better, then you know.
Yeah. I want that. I want something like that, like the bandanas for my Mezco.
Yeah, that looks cool. Even though it would be totally impractical, but it is what it is. That should be done, whipped around and got blocked his one good eye. Yeah, that's that man's got.
Right there. That's insane.
Yeah, that's dope that you can actually see his eye through there too. That looks really nice. Fuck, that looks nice.
Another Hot Toys you never knew you wanted.
Yeah, I'm not gonna buy it, but I'll admire it from afar. Yeah, no doubt.
All right. Well, that's that. Just wanted to bring that up while we're on the subject of DC.
All right, what else is on the docket?
Ant-Man Wasp. Who saw it?
I saw it.
I saw it.
Yeah,
Rick?
Rick, you see it?
Yeah, I saw it.
Oh shit!
Let's do spoiler free. Get it in, boys.
P, you saw it?
Of course. Opening night.
Let's spoil this shit. No, spoiler free, I guess. But all right, what'd you guys think? What'd you think, Fabio?
I liked it, man. It was it kind of follows the same trend as the first Ant-Man movie in terms that it's like the most family friendly, I think.
No doubt.
But it's a good follow up. You know, I think the editing was a little like choppy in some places. Like I feel like it kind of jumped around in a couple areas. It was a little jarring.
No doubt.
Overall, I mean, it was a really enjoyable movie. I think they really played with a lot of the shrinking and growing really well.
Mm-hmm.
It was fun to see. Villain was solid. It was a good interpretation of Ghost. I'm glad that she's still alive. Well, I guess we can't spoil it, but
God
Damn.
you know, I'm glad.
To be fair, in like Kevin Feige like did like a whole bunch of interviews and stuff, and he said in a lot of interviews that Ghost is like going to be pretty. She's not a throwaway villain like some of the earlier MCU movies.
Because that was the biggest
That's what I meant to say. Let me say it like this: they built up a good future for her.
Yeah, for sure.
And yeah, overall, I mean, there's one villain that doesn't really need to be there, but I guess he's from the comics, so I just wanted to throw him in. Yeah, I liked it. I thought it was a fun movie for sure. What about you guys?
I thought it was great. I thought it was a really, I think Ant-Man 1 and this are a really good way to contain your MCU movies and storylines, and like where you're not wondering like where are the other Avengers, you know? Like this is very much an Ant-Man story where it only involves Ant-Man and like Wasp and stuff, and he doesn't need anybody else to like come and do all this stuff. So like I know like with Thor movies, like these earth-ending, events, like wouldn't Iron Man just show up to be all like, yo, what's going on? Like, do you need a hand or something? Right. But like these Ant movies are really, really well set up for keeping everything super contained, and they make sense within the world. I really enjoyed like the world building they did and the universe building they did for the MCU. A lot of stuff that happens in this movie, I think, will play directly into what happens next in the MCU for sure.
Oh yeah.
Which, if I'm not mistaken, Ant-Man 1 pioneered as well. Like going into the microverse was kind of like a little taste of what you were gonna get with Doctor Strange in terms of like how psychedelic it was gonna get, and Doctor Strange kind of like preparing audiences for that. Mm-hmm. So I think that was really cool. Like I'm with you. Some of the editing was a little weird, but in terms of pacing was pretty good. I think this movie had like the best middle ground between like plot and comedy. Like as much as everybody really loves Thor Ragnarok, I think that the comedy was really kind of hammered in, no pun intended, with Thor. But at the end of the day, it is a comedy movie, so I kind of get it. But like with Ant-Man, I think the comedy was paced really well. It never felt like, just over the top comedy. All of the jokes were really funny, and they felt like supernatural too.
You know what helps is that guy, Paul Rudd, he's just such a great comedic actor.
God, I love Paul Rudd.
It wasn't just Paul Rudd though. Like everybody who had funny moments delivered though. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, you're right. Paul Rudd, that's his wheelhouse, no doubt. But
Michael Pena too. They gave him a shot.
Yeah, he had a fucking solid performance, no question about that. Big ups to him for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, his scene in the movie is hands down probably like my favorite non-action scene. That's so funny.
Yeah, I like how they had a lot of throwbacks to the first movie, like that whole sequence with him. Describing shit basically without giving away too much. And then
kind of calling out the reality of like what he's doing, but then just kind of letting them go with it is a good like little like in joke, I guess.
Yeah, no doubt.
I also really like the FBI agent guy, Randall Park.
So good. Shout out to Asian Jim. Real cool.
Yeah, Jimmy Woo was the agent's name.
Asian Jim?
Yeah.
Asian Jim, you're right.
Way to go for not seeing color, Dwight.
Oh my goodness.
What'd you guys think about? Well, Rick, what you think? What'd you think first?
You know, I'm always gonna be annoyed at the film because they didn't cast Rashida Jones as Hope. I think Rashida Jones and Paul Rudd go together like macaroni and cheese.
Peanut butter and jelly.
That was peanut butter jelly. You know, that's a
Anchovies and pizza. Oh,
somebody called Sade. This is a crime.
Pineapple and pizza.
I thought it was a good movie. Although I'm happy that like with Ghost in a sense, I'm also upset because we've gotten like I guess we were just spoiled. Like I mean, when you think back on the list of villains that we've gotten lately, they've been great. I mean, you look at Ego, you look at Vulture, you look at what the hell's his name in Thor Ragnarok, the Hela and what's his name, Jeff Goldblum in the film. And you look at Thanos, you look at Killmonger, and you're like, wow, those were great villains. And then we get Ghost, and it's like, you know, you weren't bad, but you were not on the level that those villains were. Although I was happy with how they went with the character.
Yeah, it was different enough, but still kind of true to form. I saw little things that they were trying to do that I picked up on that you probably wouldn't pick up on if you weren't a diehard Marvel or comic book reader or whatever. But I'll talk about that when I talk. Go ahead. I'm cutting you off. Go ahead.
What else was I going to say? Yeah, Michael Pena. I mean, just Jesus. Not only is he a fantastic actor that deserves to have this type of like love within a big community, especially like the biggest community in films right now, but he's just so funny, and his scenes don't feel forced. His jokes never feel like, man, he's really just hammering it in my face. It was really well done. It wasn't like with his fucking Chips movie where I was just like, well, fuck this movie. And fuck Dax Shepard. And I don't know how the hell he got Sarah Marshall, but fuck him. And I don't know. I thought it was good.
What'd you guys think about T.I.?
He was all right.
He's used the just the right amount. You're never like, fuck, man, here's T.I. I thought I was going to say that the first film, and I did.
Yeah, no doubt. It gives you a little bit of pause when you see somebody from like, I guess from the hip hop world or somebody that's not traditionally an actor, but then they do good. You're like, oh, all right, I'm relieved. I feel, it's okay.
I think
I had this feeling.
So the first Ant-Man was like, you're gonna get the most that reaction for sure. Like, oh shit, it's T.I.
Mm-hmm.
But I think by this time, a lot of people were like, oh, okay, he's still here, huh? Okay, all right.
Right. I feel like he's the least memorable of the three guys of ex-con.
That is
Michael
true.
Pena's got his thing, and then the Russian guy's got his thing.
Baba Yaga story. Dude, that was so great. The Baba Yaga stick. That was so
right. But you know what? I don't think that's bad.
I was about to say the same thing.
I don't want him to fuck up, and he did. He did fine. He wasn't overbearing at all, and he was himself basically. So it wasn't.
Yeah, I mean, I think T.I. is a pretty solid actor. Like, what was that movie he did? Atlanta, in it? Was it Atlanta?
No, he was in that heist movie.
He was in Atlanta though.
Yeah, Atlanta was good. He did a pretty. His performance in Atlanta was.
Oh yeah. You're right. I just saw that the other day too. Shit, you're right.
Yeah.
Was it called Atlanta though? Was it?
I believe so.
All right, yeah, he was in that, but he was also in that heist movie with Chris Brown and like.
What a cast.
That's when you know it's a cinematic masterpiece. Chris Brown breakdancing.
Takers. I think it was called Takers. But his performance was okay in that too.
And didn't Chris Brown just go to jail again?
Well, he got arrested for a warrant. They made it out like he did something previously, but I think he was wanted for some. You know how it is with musicians. If something happens in one state when you're touring, you're not about to be trying to go back for shit. You know what I'm saying? To go to court and shit, and that's how they always get caught up. So he didn't go back for something that happened before, and when he popped up in the city again for another tour, then they grabbed him basically. So
they were like, gotcha, bitch.
He was out the day after.
Yeah, so that happens. It's pretty normal. It's not That happens to a lot of different musicians. It's not. I don't know if it's a big deal, but yeah, I thought Ant-Man was good, man. I judge shit a lot now on whether it's on my daughter's reaction, and if she reacts to it positively and she likes it and she will sit through it and she's not restless and it's, you know, the jokes are hidden for her and shit too, and it's okay for me too, then I'm like, okay, it's a solid good family Marvel flick basically, and that's how I felt. Now I did have some issues with some of the editing, like you guys mentioned. They definitely seem like they fucked up in a few spots. I don't know. I didn't hate Ghost, but I didn't love her either. But I do like little things that they did to give a nod to the character from the comic books. In the comic books, if you don't know, Ghost is a male, and he's a very eccentric, sort of weird kind of guy. He's not like the most clean dude. Like he's like really like nasty, and he smells, and like he's really weird, and like, you know, he's a nerd and whatever.
People
and
get really creeped out when he phases through them. Like they get really like they were violated most of the time. They're like, oh.
I see that they were trying to go for that with her, to make her kind of creepy and weird and like make her look kind of disheveled, and they picked somebody who was British, so her teeth was kind of fucked up. so I don't know. I saw little things that they were trying to do there, but like, I don't know. I didn't really sympathize with her plight as much, I guess, as maybe like Thanos or something. Like I mean, Thanos didn't even really have a good story. He's just bad, like basically. But I don't know. It was something I like the fact that Bill Forster was in this, but I didn't like that they tied him in with the Ghost character like that. I didn't like how the people of color were the villains in the movie. I don't know. Maybe I'm looking too deep into it, but I didn't particularly care for that. And but overall, it was great. Overall, it was good. It was good. It was good. Overall, it was very good.
You know what we didn't mention was that the action was exceptional in this one.
Yes, the action was very good. All of the shrinking and growing and all of the like exploring Ant-Man and Wasp power sets was very well done. The choreography was really nice. The fight scenes were nice. One thing I wasn't sure about was Ghost's strength. Like, obviously her power set was that she could phase through things or whatever the case may be. But at one point, it seemed like she just clicked on like superhuman strength at one point towards like the midway point in the movie and shit like that.
Yeah,
like,
we're still like, through the wall, right?
Right. Yeah. I'm like, was that's not part of her power set or part of Ghost's power set. Like, you know, it was already determined, or it was already known that Ant-Man and Wasp have increased strength in their smaller sizes, basically. So that was a given. Like, you know what I'm saying? Them phasing, going back and forth from regular size to tiny size or whatever, then they could fuck with their strength, basically. But that wasn't something that was outlined for Ghost. So that was kind of weird to me. Yeah, just some of the Ghost's power set. The fact that they tied Bill Forster in with Ghost in a weird sort of way, I didn't like that. I would have liked to see like maybe a flashback to Bill Forster fucking with the technology or whatever the case may be. But they mentioned it. They talked about it. The fact that they had a relationship was cool. But overall, it was good. Like I said, this is one that you would watch again. I don't know if it has in theater replay value, but it is definitely a movie that you would watch again quite a few times on TV or on cable or whatever the case may be.
Maybe watch it again in IMAX. I would imagine the only thing.
Yeah,
yeah. I watched it on regular screens. I'm curious to see how it is in 3D.
On regular.
I'll agree with you.
How are you dudes with glasses watching 3D films?
Difficult.
What is happening?
Yeah, no, I put it just right over my glasses.
Yeah, same here.
A double glass, baby.
Interesting. Okay.
It's rough. I will agree with you that her relationship with with Bill was it was confusing at first. I don't know if I'm just a moron, but like when she just kept on talking about like her parents, and then she had the flashback and her dad was white, I was like, what? Isn't Bill?
Yeah, no doubt. Yeah, I forgot to mention that word. That shit threw me for a loop. I'm like,
She was mixed.
what? I'm like, oh, okay, he's just a friend of the family. Okay,
yeah, because I was like, this is a mixed girl for sure. So like she's like,
right,
and then she's talking about her mom. Her mom's like black in the movie, and then like she's like, then my dad, and this is like this white dude, and I'm like, wait, Bill was white at one point. What the fuck did this technology do to
him? Somebody said
reverse vitiligo.
Hilarious.
Warkick, somebody mentioned it in the comments, but the enhanced strength might have been from her suit.
Could be, yeah,
could be. Okay,
again, it wasn't specifically made clear. You're right about that, but.
What'd you guys think? You know what I didn't like either was, well, that's kind of spoil next week. But I did like the design of her suit, though. It looked really dope.
Yeah.
It reminded me of Killzone stuff.
It looked really cool.
What'd you say, B?
It reminded me of the Killzone armor from this video game Killzone.
Word. Yeah, I didn't even think about that, but yeah, definitely. That's exactly
kind of like a
Killzone figures are underrated.
They sure are.
All right, that's cool. I will say I really liked the choice of Ghost as a villain, just because I feel like her phasing is a good offset for their shrinking in terms of like the cat and mouse games that they were playing, and it felt like the fight scenes were very cat and mousey as well. So I think that was a good theme that was followed through.
You know what fit was that it made sense. You know, sometimes you watch these superhero films and you're just frustrated with like, obviously you can win like this. Why aren't you doing this?
Yeah.
And I never felt that way. Very easy to feel like that when you watch them. Like, damn, for suspense sakes, you're making him a fucking idiot.
Yeah, I thought it was really cool that like the only time they ever got like some serious like licks in on her was like Wasp would hit her with a stinger first, like something that's hard for her to see coming, and she can't like face through that as fast as she could, like like a punch or a kick, and then they would end the combo with like a punch or a kick.
You know what I like too? I like the fact that it was obvious that Wasp and Ant-Man had some martial arts training though, and that they had the one up on her as far as just fighting skills go though. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
you know, if they could catch her and they could hit her, then they could hurt her. But yeah, I did like that. It was good, man. It was enjoyable for sure. What'd you guys think about Michelle Pfeiffer?
Michelle Pfeiffer, baby.
Pfeiffer, Jesus.
Well, what'd you guys think about the? I guess it was CGI for the younger version of Hank Pym.
It blows my mind every single time they do that in these Marvel movies.
It looked pretty good, right? It looked pretty good, right?
They keep on looking better and better.
It was like Gordon Gekko, dude. Gordon Gekko's about to go meet up with Charlie, and Michelle looked just like out of Batman Returns, dude. Because that was supposed to be like 1987 or something, so it all lines up.
Right.
And I wouldn't be surprised actually if we see some Hank Pym presence in Captain Marvel.
You know what I think? I think that Michelle Pfeiffer looked too good as her current self.
He sure did.
That was my first thought. Is like, do they have makeup in the
micro?
Right. She looked too fucking good, and I wanted more of an explanation as to
what has she been doing.
I mean, I guess we all just assume that you don't need to eat or like do shit or whatever when you in that sort of pocket universe. But I wanted them to say it. I wanted that explanation and shit. So there were definitely some loose ends, but yeah, she came out all with makeup and shit, looking good and shit, and fucking Hank Pym's looking like shit. He's been in the world. That's crazy.
2 minutes.
Hey there.
It's crazy.
Yeah, it's wild. The thing that bugged me the most, my wife too, she was like, "Why does her hair look so good?"
Right.
I assume she was eating the quantum energy or whatever.
She hasn't fucking seen a comb in 30 fucking years, bro. It's crazy.
That's all with her hands. She just kind of fluffed it up with her hands.
That's it, yeah.
But also, somebody mentioned Adrian Howard. What about young Lawrence Fishburne? He looked good too.
Yeah, yeah. Lawrence Fishburne was was gaining weight.
He looked like he was teaching Cuba Gooding Jr. some shit.
Word. That's a throwback to Boys in the Hood. If you guys don't know, you young bucks out there.
Oh, is that what that was?
Yeah.
But yeah, Ant-Man and Wasp was cool. I thought Evangeline Lilly looked good in the movie too.
Oh, so much better than the first movie.
No doubt.
For sure.
That stupid Bob.
Dude, when they were doing the story and she talked about her Bob and the
So great. I fucking hated Bob. You got to be like gorgeous to pull that shit off, honestly.
Or Cleopatra.
Or Cleopatra, yes. Which means that you are gorgeous and you're Cleopatra. So yeah. So yeah. All right. So moving along. Anybody in the chat want to say anything else about Ant-Man and Wasp?
Mervine48. Did anyone else question how she made the cape and hood in the quantum realm?
Yeah. There are people that live in is she in the quantum realm or the microverse?
She's in the quantum realm. In the movie, it's called the quantum realm.
Okay. But is it just the microverse though? Because there are people that live in the microverse, correct?
Well, I don't
the way it's described in the movies.
Basically, the way it seemed to me is that it was like, because you remember, well, I don't want to give away shit, but it seemed like it was just the smallest you could possibly be. Okay. Basically, like I don't know, like that's.
It's almost like you go so small that you're in a whole new dimension.
Almost, yeah, right. Yeah. So, which is interesting. It's interesting, especially how all of that tied in towards the end and whatever. I don't want to give away anything, but yeah, we'll talk spoilers.
We're not talking about after. I mean, people are already asking what we thought of it, and we're not going to talk about it right now.
Yeah, I definitely enjoyed the after credit scenes. I'll say that. That's it.
Yeah.
Tune in next week. Tune in next week for what we actually feel.
Yeah, come on, guys.
Set your dials.
We got to get you back here.
We already said too many things.
Yeah, I'm with you. I think it was a really great universe building end credit scene for sure.
I mean, that is what Marvel has. Their fucking universe building abilities are bar none. Like it's top notch. Like the pacing of them building this universe has been phenomenal. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, with each movie they have great pacing within each individual movie, but the pacing of building this all together and tying it all together with all of these end credit scenes is fucking amazing, man.
Right.
It's very good work overall, man. I mean,
from Swaggy Spoder, something low-key that bothered him was that Ant-Man never cracked a joke about Vision phasing through him when he was giant in Civil War. It's the type of joke he'd make after seeing Ghost.
Interesting. Yeah, that was a missed opportunity, no question. They definitely could have tied those two things together. But they did mention Captain America and Avengers and Civil War and shit quite a few times, though.
That was funny. Yeah, Cap.
Yeah, that's what I call him.
That's what I call him.
So interesting.
Yeah, it was funny. It was definitely funny.
All right, so this brings us to what? Our last thing on the docket?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a big one.
Heavy topic.
Well, if you want to talk about this, you should lead the charge.
All right, well, if you don't know, in America right now, our current president, President Donald Trump, has enacted a trade war with a lot of our allies and with, well, basically with all of our allies. And he feels like there are trade practices amongst us and our allies. And because of that, he has imposed on certain products. And we were discussing in the past couple of days whether or not those imposed tariffs will start to affect us as toy collectors, because one of the people that we are in direct war with is China with this trade war. And as you guys know, a lot of our products that we collect are made in China. So we figured we'd talk about this a little bit on a podcast and see if this is something that will affect us and how fast it'll affect us, if it'll be something immediate or what. But basically, this past Friday, I guess Trump fired the first, fired back. Now, from my basic understanding, it's not something that will immediately affect us, but if Trump decides to hold the line and decides to double down and decides to continue this shit, then yes, it is something that could definitely affect us, especially as it relates to imported figures. But as it relates to any figure, honestly, really, because everything's fucking made in China. Like most of the shit.
Like the reality is that we could be facing $25 retail Marvel Legends at every single store, because you know some of them don't charge that much. Some of them charge $19.99. Some of them charge $22. But across the board, it's going to be hard to see anybody less than $25 if this continues.
And this mostly affects imports, or is it going to affect Legends and domestic releases as well?
Well, Legends are manufactured in China as well.
Yep.
Right. Some people in the chat were wondering.
Oh, okay, yeah.
It's actually
not just imports, yeah, all figures.
Yes.
It's gonna make things a lot worse because believe it or not, you know, it's not like before where you'd want to buy from Japan just to get something early. It's like, well, I want to buy from Japan because I'm going to get it cheaper.
Right. So it's almost like it won't affect some of us on the podcast because that's our normal move anyway. Like, you know what I'm saying? As far as getting directly from Japan, because not only do we want to get it fast, but we want to get it cheap. But the average collector is not really. I notice even to this day, the average collector will wait for domestic shit no matter what. You know what I'm saying? And like, if you think that the domestic prices for certain things are high now, then you in for a big surprise if this shit escalates and if it continues. So there's really no rhyme or reason to why the fuck this guy is even doing this. You know what I'm saying? Like that.
What you're saying is this is the worst trade deal in the history of trade deals.
pretty much. There's really not. Certain shit that he says holds a little bit of truth, but he goes so far left with the truth that it's ridiculous. Like, yeah, China does do some little shady bullshit here and there, but what we had going on before now and before this thing escalates was still fine. It was still manageable. It was still ways around it. It was still with the TPP in place. It was still things that we could do to show China that we thought that they were doing things that were impractical or weren't correct without taking it to this extreme and shit. But even with my basic understanding of trade and how things work, our president doesn't even have that basic understanding. So that's the problem and shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, any one of us on this podcast could go in there and fix this shit before he could. Like, you know what I'm saying? He's just literally a fucking idiot. So it's a tough situation, man. And
man, this is all a bunch of liberal biblicisms from good old Letterman.
Right. And I feel like I don't want to. I mean, like, it's kind of like, again, we kind of in our own world and shit and whatever. Like, you know, I'm on this shit 24/7 as far as like politics go. Like, I'm following politics more than I ever have in life. And like, yeah, this is kind of some self-censored like shit like for us to be talking about right now because we worried about our toys and shit like that. But like on a greater scale, all of this shit that he's doing is still important. It's not just about the toy shit, but all of the shit that he's doing is affecting everybody in everyday life because
it's going to affect everything. Where do you think your phones are made? Where do you think your laptops are produced? Where do you think anything
Who do you think makes those kimonos you wear?
Basically. So yeah, this shit's like, it's bad all around. Like, because, and this guy, you know, I said this in Plastic Bank too, no one can advise him. No one can give him advice. No one can say, nah, you know what, that's a bad idea and shit. Like, you know, when he has his mind set on some shit, no matter what, it's very hard for you to, you know, lead him in a different direction. Like, you know, we found out this past week that he was gung-ho on invading Venezuela last summer. Like, just like ridiculous shit like that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, he's really operating like he's like a king and not like a politician and shit. So it's fucked up, man. It's fucked up. Like, again, you know, we saying it's fucked up for our toys, but it's fucked up on every level as it relates to how this guy is moving around, man. Like,
yeah, and it's like you know, I don't know what type of followers you have, Boog, but like, I don't want anybody coming in here thinking that we're just hating on Trump and that we're making a mountain out of a molehill. You can go to many accounts of people that work in the toy industry right now, and they're pissed.
Yeah.
They work in the industry because they know that this is going to fuck everything up. If you thought Toys R Us disappearing was bad, this is much worse. Fuck Toys R Us. They just move figures in. They're a second party, man. This affects it at the root, and this is going to fuck a lot of things up. There is many notable toy sculptors, people that work within the companies, you know, with whether it be finance or whether it be, you know, the planning stages, that are just, they're pissed and they don't know what's going to happen.
Yep. So I don't know, man. I don't know what we gonna do. We kind of at this guy's mercy as it relates to a lot of different things and shit. So, and again, I keep reiterating, I keep saying this. You know, this is the A.C.B.A. podcast. Obviously, 99% of the shit that we talk about is going to be A.C.B.A. centric. Like, you know what I mean? It's going to be about collecting and displaying. So, you know, that's the angle that we coming from here. But it's bad across the fucking board what this guy is doing, man. Just get out there and fucking vote in the midterms, man. Make sure we try to flip the house or whatever. And I mean, I'm sure there are tons of people that view my channel and that are conservative or whatever, or supporters of Trump and whatever the case may be. And man, I feel sorry for you. Fuck it. I don't know what else to tell you at this particular point. He has proved time and time again that he's just not capable of doing this job, and he's not really up to the task on anything, not just this toy shit, just on everything in general. So I don't want to make shit too political, but
it's funny that before we had a lot of people that believed, even including myself, because it made the most logical sense, that this guy was kind of being spoken to in the ear about things, and he was just believing certain things. But if this situation shows you anything, it's that sometimes this guy really just believes whatever the hell he wants, and he's going to do whatever he wants, and nobody's controlling this guy. Nobody's steering him in any direction. This is just literally him being crazy. Even Republicans don't agree with this deal, man. It's pretty messed up.
Yeah, nobody wants a fucking trade war. It's not about anything. It's so weird. It's so nutty. It's literally just nutty. This guy's just nutty, man. So in the next few weeks, maybe he will realize when, you know, it starts affecting the markets. Maybe he'll pull back and say, you know, whatever, make up some shit.
Tactic.
Right. Maybe he'll make up some shit or whatever the case may be. But that's the thing about him. He's so ego driven. Like, he's so, like, you know, he's fake machismo. Like, he's just he's just a coward, though. That's the funny shit about it, though. He's really
fragile masculinity.
He's just a coward. He's just a pussy, really, at the end of the day. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's not real. All right, so like I said, I didn't want to get too political, but we want to take some questions.
Yeah, I've already opened up the Q&A for people. Let's see if we can get a few questions. I'm going to scroll back and see if we missed any. Someone mentioned Walton Goggins and Ant-Man. Yeah, he was fun, but that was the villain I mentioned. That didn't really need to be there.
Who?
Walton Goggins.
Who's that?
The balding dude that was after the...
Oh, the dude from Vice Principals.
Yeah.
The black market guy.
yeah. I like him, man. I like him a lot. I like his acting, man.
Yeah. There was a lot of people actually really pissed. Like, this is the fucking role you gave Walton Goggins in the MCU.
He killed it, though.
Yeah, he did. I thought he was fine.
Yeah. He didn't really need to be there. He was just kind of there, you know.
I mean, who else would it have been? I mean, if it was anybody else, would you really give a fuck? You know,
it could have been any, you know, in terms of like a black market dealer, you didn't need to give a small role like that to a big dude like Walton Goggins, you know.
No doubt, but I mean, he's in the MCU now. Fuck it.
I guess so. Hopefully he comes back with a new cybernetic appendage like Claw.
Well, I mean, at least they didn't kill him off.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank God. Please, no more people dying.
Yeah, Marvel's notorious for killing off the fucking villains. So
Yeah, it was only until Baron Zemo that they stopped killing people. And then they're still killing some.
Somebody wants to know if we're doing the photo breakdown, so we should probably get that going too. While we
let's talk about some photos for sure. Yeah, let's.
While we're doing that, Colossal Customs wants to know what reveals we, the cast, want to see at SDCC for 2019 from any line.
That's a good question.
I want to see Mezco tie up some loose ends, man. I want to see them start completing some teams and giving us some supporting characters for some of the really dope figures that they've already released and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like the Netflix Punisher and Daredevil. Okay, cool. You know, we need a nice, accurate Batman. We need, what else do we need? We need, I don't know as they're Marvel people, but I'd like to see them complete. I've said this before, but I like to see them complete an Illuminati through Mezco. So, so we need a Mr. Fantastic or a Mezco Fantastic Four would be pretty nuts, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Now, when I talked to them last year, they didn't have the rights for Doom. I think that might be in the same rights as Fantastic Four. I'm not sure.
Yeah, a Mezco Doom would be nuts.
How about a Mezco
Once
Classic
the deal
Thor?
is inked.
You said what?
Mezco Classic Thor.
Yes, we need that because that will actually round out a Mezco Big Three because we get in Iron Man this month, supposedly. Maybe it'll be next month. In America, we got a classic Cap, we got a modern Cap. So yeah, a Thor. It makes
and you can get a real Silver Age thing going with that Doctor Strange as well.
No question, no question. But that's what I was thinking about Illuminati shit too. It could be a classic Illuminati. We already got the sort of classic Iron Man coming. Doctor Strange supposed to drop this month too. We got a Black Panther that's coming. It's a movie Black Panther, but it is what it is. You know, we would just need Mr. Fantastic and Namor. I don't know what they would do with that though. I guess it would make more sense for them to do him with his clothes on, being that it's Mezco. You know what I'm saying? But
or you know what? It's an entire body, but the only thing that's cloth is the boxers.
That would be hilarious.
That would be fucking hilarious. That's where the cloth is at.
That would be really funny. Or they could give us a naked Namor with the cloth underwear and give him like a robe or some shit, like some ill robe. That would be hilarious.
How am I expected to dry off?
Like an ill silk robe.
Give us like a really sick beach towel.
Basically. But yeah, I'd like to see Mezco tie up some loose ends. I'd like to see Legends finally go ahead and tell us that they're going to give us Professor X. Since it's time. And I'd like to see what's going on with this Sentinel and Wolverine thing. Maybe they holding that close to the chest. Maybe it is still going to be SDCC exclusive. Maybe we'll find out this Wednesday. Wednesday is normally a day that they reveal shit. So maybe we'll find out that this Wolverine and Sentinel is an SDCC exclusive or not. Who else? Who else do we want to see shit from? What do you guys want to see from Hot Toys?
I want to see. I was just gonna say Hasbro. I want to see a lot more from Hasbro, man. Where the fuck is the hood? For the love of God, where is the hood?
No doubt.
Where is the Kingpin? You know, give us a new Doctor Doom. Throw away the Nick Fury mold. Come on, you know, let's get it going in the right way. No more shoulder pads attached to the head.
I'm ready for a hood. I'm ready for a hood and for them to do more villains from that whole, like, you know, more kind of B and C list villains from his whole gang and shit too.
I'd love. I mean, although she's not really necessary, I just hate the old one. I would love a new Madame Mask.
Yeah, no doubt, no doubt.
Give us a new Mystique, because Jesus Christ, that last Mystique was horrible.
Said the real Mystique.
The real Mystique. Well, the real Mystique. And,
Word up.
we need a new Emma Frost. You know, we need a lot right now. A Nightcrawler, a Beast. Where you at?
Yep, they need to round out the sort of 80s sort of X-Men team. So even a new classic Colossus would be cool.
Give us a Gambit. We already have the mold for Colossus too. You know, just change the upper torso a little bit.
Go the distance with Gambit though. They got to give us different coat and arms and shit though. Not that bullshit Nick Fury shit. Yeah. You know?
Do him like they did. You know, Dr. Octopus. Just don't give us any pieces, but give him the most accessories.
Right.
Because he needs it. He's going to need it a lot.
What other companies do we want to see shit from? What do we want to see from Figure Arts or Mayfex?
Oh man, the dream announcement from Figure Arts. This SDCC. It's not even about DBZ. Get that out of here for a second, because we know it's all going to eventually hit. Gonna get shit. It's just gonna take forever. But let's hear about you making a bid on My Hero Academia, because I cannot tolerate Figma anymore.
No doubt, no doubt. I'm not even really into that shit, but I know so many people are, and I can admire from afar. I'm down with that for sure.
Yeah, fix that immediately. You know, I want a lot from DBZ reveals, but I'm sure we're only gonna get like 2 or 3. You know, I don't really stress about DBZ like that, because I know that eventually everything's going to get made. It's just, they're just going to take their sweet ass time. I really want fighters from different universes to be revealed this SDCC. We'll see if that's what they do, but yeah, that's what I want. You know, I want a Jiden, I want Kaba, I want so many fucking characters.
I could see Figure Arts doing a hit before anybody else, though.
Yeah, but give us a hit. At least show us hit. You know.
I think maybe a Ultra Instinct Goku is probably pretty safe.
Oh
to
yeah. You know what? Any Goku at this point. At this point, being that they now are dropping a new buck for Goku, you know what I'm saying? So any Goku, they could go back and do all of them shits, really, at this point. So
it's gonna piss people off, but like the safest prediction I can make right now is that A, we're gonna see Ultra Instinct Goku, and that B, we're gonna see figures from that new series, Dragon Ball Hero, and it's gonna piss everyone off.
Dude, I wouldn't mind a Xeno Goku. I think that'd be pretty sick.
When's the new series supposed to start?
It came out last week.
Oh, it did.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it pissed everybody off because it was 8 minutes. You know, it's kind of like it's kind of hard when you love shonen anime, because it's all 30-minute episodes or like 24-minute episodes. But in reality, like half of the shows every anime season, which is like 30 or so shows every season, every time that, you know, spring, summer, winter, fall, half of them are 8 minutes or less, and they're called like shorts. You know, they're usually 4 coma series, which means like every chapter, every page is broken up into literally only 4 panels.
So what happened in this episode?
Much shorter.
Goku went to that planet or whatever. So like the basic breakdown is Goku and Vegeta are training on training with Whis, and then Mai comes out of nowhere. Then she's all like, "Yo, we need help over here." And then Fu is a villain from the game Dragon Ball Xenoverse, and he's in this anime, and he's all like, "Yo, hey, Trunks needs our help. He's like, he's captured here or whatever. Come with me." So they all go to this planet, and it turns out to be like a planet that Fu created to basically capture and imprison strong fighters so he can like make them fight. He's he's literally the embodiment of the online fan base at this point, pretty much.
He's basically DBZ's Mojo.
And so like what happens is so the big like selling point of this anime is like there's 2 Gokus. So like there's like our Goku, which we've been following this whole time, and then there's Xenoverse Goku, which is like a time patroller, who basically just fights like time anomalies and stuff like that. And these versions of Goku, like there's like a Xeno Goku, and like there's a Xeno version of everybody in the entire cast. And if like this is all based on Dragon Ball Heroes, which is like a card game that's been out in Japan for like a number of years. And the only thing you really need to know about these characters is, so Trunks becomes a time patroller, and then I forget who it is, but it's either the Kaioshin of Time or somebody asks Trunks like, "Hey, we need more like powerful warriors. Think of powerful warriors, and then like from your memories, I will pull these warriors from your memories and manifest them in here." So it's like Trunks's like perfect version of all these warriors. So Xenoverse Goku is Trunks's perfect version of Goku, and like Xeno Gohan is Trunks's perfect version of Gohan, and like so on and so forth. So like Xeno Goku isn't like a bad guy or anything like that. He's still Goku. He's just not like main continuity Goku. So Xeno Goku and Goku fight, and then the big thing was Xeno Goku does not have access to God Kai. So he can't go like Super Saiyan Blue or Super Saiyan God or anything, but he does have access to Super Saiyan 4. So the big fight was Super Saiyan 4 versus Super Saiyan Blue Goku. And then they kind of like copped out, and they were like, "Oh, we're both pretty evenly matched, haha." Anyway, let's fight the real villain now. So it was like a short introduction. Like ultimately, this new series is just a big ass commercial for Dragon Ball Heroes anyway. So
That sounded like a lot for 8 minutes. Goddamn.
Yeah, it was a lot of dialogue heavy stuff. But the coolest thing that ties specifically into new figures from SH Figuarts is like we saw like a couple of years ago, SH Figuarts, when Xenoverse 2 was just being released, they pulled Trunks from Xenoverse 2 and the Time Patroller from Xenoverse 2. But now that Heroes is pretty big, yeah, we'll get Heroes figures like Rick said we could. And that might piss some people off, like how the Time Patroller slot kind of pissed people off. Like, I don't want a Time Patroller. This Trunks is kind of whack. I don't want a Trunks whatever from this game that I don't even play. But when it comes to Heroes, it might be a different case, because one of the biggest, coolest things about Heroes is when they pull characters from literally every Dragon Ball property, period. So it's not just based on the main continuity. Like any of the movie villains will appear in Heroes. Like villains will get new forms in Heroes and stuff. So that's whenever you see like animations of like Super Saiyan 4 Broly and like crazy shit like that, that's all from Heroes. So we could potentially be seeing like maybe a Super Saiyan like 4 Gohan from Heroes, or something nuts like that. But what I'm most excited about is in this new anime, Cooler, who is Frieza's brother.
Lord, yes.
Yeah, from movie 6, I think. He is playing a big role in this anime because like he's on the same imprisoned planet as Trunks. So if we get a Cooler figure out of this, that'll be all I really want, honestly.
Interesting. All right, that makes sense.
And you know, you can probably bet that because of this anime, they'll finally release their Super Saiyan 4 Goku.
No question.
A lot of people wondered why it was so delayed, and I mean, they randomly show things and then don't release them for a while. But you know, I'm pretty sure the main reason was that as soon as they found out the kit was coming out, the Bandai Hobby, which is a separate entity, kind of told them just like, "Hey man, could you guys delay that because we want to release this first? Because if you make your figure around the same time that we make ours, you know, it's kind of a shot in the dick."
Yeah, for sure. I can definitely see that happening. Like, I think that'll definitely be it. Tying into what I said like a couple of podcasts ago, where I think that figures will be tied to the U.S. like debut of characters. So we didn't get a Jiren figure until Jiren. Not Jiren. What am I saying? We didn't get a Goku Black until Goku Black debuted on Toonami. So I think that might tie into this as well. We won't get a Super Saiyan 4 until like Super Saiyan 4 comes back to like the limelight, like, you know, an example being this anime. So that'll be pretty cool.
Yeah, they want the highest amount of impact for when they release something. I mean, it makes sense. You know, you want both markets to know the character because you're going to be selling to both markets when Bluefin Tamashi Nations brings it.
For sure.
So it does make sense. You know, it can be frustrating, but it makes sense.
That's it.
All right, we got some more questions down there. We want to take a couple questions.
Yeah. Does anybody else have the questions up, or I guess I'm the only guy?
I'll look at their questions. I guess I'm not doing anything.
Let's see.
Says can't watch Goku spend an entire 6 episodes powering up, fight Frieza, says Adrian Howard. That's for damn sure. You're not going to get that from Dragon Ball Heroes. You're not getting that at all. Let me see. I don't really see any questions.
There were a lot earlier. I'll find them real quick.
Oh yeah, that would be nice to see some SHF Street Fighter reveals, because we've not really had anything else.
Well, they got Sakura dropping this month, and they just dropped Ken. So yeah, I don't doubt that there'll be some reveals for sure. But Storm has been killing it, man.
Oh man,
I don't have any Storm collectible figures at all. But I
don't either. I used to, but I don't either because I just can't afford that. They're sick. I'll buy Mike Tyson. I'll buy like standalone Storm figures.
Yeah, I would too. I would buy some standalone shit. I'd get Tyson.
John Papa Sergio brings up a really good suggestion for Mezco. Mezco 112 Rocketeer. That would look impressive.
That would look dope. That would look dope, actually.
Yeah, that whole like leather. Like,
you know what? That's like right in there up their alley and shit. Some standalone shit that you won't have anything else to go with it, but that will look fucking amazing.
Yeah. In place of that stupid Italian super spy that they made a figure for.
Right. You know what? They haven't dropped that yet, though, but they've been teasing that shit for the longest.
Yeah, it's on there.
Diabolic.
Yeah. Right.
Diabolic. Oh, man. It reminds me of that. It reminds me of Grandma's Boy. I think that was like the name of the video game he made.
Jesus. That video game was supposed to be real, by the way.
Really?
Yeah, and then they just like they couldn't fund it or whatever.
That video game looked horrible.
It looked horrible. Like I think that they were trying to, the engine that they were doing for it was not spec'd for original Xbox, and they tried to port it over to Xbox 360 or something, but it just wouldn't work.
Interesting.
Oh, we have a good question that we could address, because do people ask it all the time? Everybody's asking, where's Pharaoh? Pharaoh is off ruling Egypt. You ever have a? That's what he's doing. The guy, has his own life. He's making his own lane. That's just as plain as we could put it. He's not here anymore. He's doing his own thing. Wish him the best. Boog, are you going to do a mid-year best of the ML video?
Oh, I don't know about mid-year, but it's funny because because my top 10 of 2017 has been like the feature video on my channel, so I always see it, and I keep thinking, all right, it's mid-year now. I need to start thinking about shit for the past 6 months that I want to include. Once this next 6 months goes, because it'll be fast, basically. But I don't know about mid-year, but again, Legends has put out a lot of shit in 6 months, and in the next 6 months, I don't expect them to slow up. So it seems like it'll be another year where Legends is going to be my top toy company of the year, or brand, or whatever the case may be.
Do you remember a month ago, everybody thought that the Apocalypse Wave wouldn't be releasing until August?
Right. And now it's showing up at Walgreens.
Yeah.
And Sauron is look like it's going to be right behind it. So yeah. I don't know what else we have in store for 2018 as far as Legends, but I mean, if the first half of the year or the second half of the year looks anything like the first half, then I guess we're in for quite a bit. So we'll know in the next 2 weeks for sure.
I mean, even right now, like, I don't think that Biker Wolverine has even really hit stores besides that like short period of time.
Yeah. But only like specialty shops, like comic shops and shit like that. So yeah,
there's still a lot right now that's just like, it's not really out, that's kind of out, that's still going to come out.
And you know what? Legends is still recalibrating as far as Toys R Us closing up. So, they're still trying to make plans to get shit that was going to be Toys R Us exclusives out to wherever else they're going to put them out at. So
You peel off that silver sticker and send it to Walgreens.
pretty much.
We also have another question that's a good question for Poncho. What do you think of the Action 66 Volume 2 Mega Man figures?
Shit. You know, that was gonna be my answer to what we wanted to see from SDCC. I'd love to see more anything Mega Man at this point.
Dead ass.
For sure. Those Action 66 Mega Man figures look great. Like I personally don't really care about the individual figures, like the X and like the Vile and stuff like that, just because I already have the D-Arts and 4-inch versions of those. But those Armor Riders look crazy, and because of like the ride armors, I'm gonna have to get like the Mega Man and the Vile in that scale. I'm not gonna put my 4-inch in those. But I think it's very interesting that the only new characters they're implementing in these lines have like they're not like new characters. We've had them in 4-inch and we've had them in Action 66. So everything from this Wave 2 line, if I'm not mistaken, Rick, has had a 4-inch variant, correct? Except Vile.
I believe so.
Vile is like the only new person that hasn't had one. So like the Red Armor Mega Man and like X and stuff, but X comes with like a new face and new hands as well. I just think that'd be really cool. I think the next logical step in that line is Zero. Maybe like maybe just regular Zero, and then maybe like a Mega Man Zero. It's really confusing if you don't follow this series. But I would I don't know. I would like
No, I think one thing that I'm not understanding, like it has to be a Capcom thing. Like, why nobody ever wants to make a fucking Proto Man?
That's true. I have no idea, dude.
What is that? Like, they've got to be stopping it, right? Like, it just doesn't make any sense.
It's weird, you know? Like, you would think with Mega Man in general, like, it's just like a gold, like, on paper, it's a line that just prints money. Like, because you can release a Mega Man, and then with that buck, you can release an infinite amount of recolors, and nobody would say nay. Like, you could release a blue Mega Man from the jump, and then release a Cut Man, and then with the Cut Man, release a red Mega Man, or a Guts Man, and then with the Guts Man, release a yellow Mega Man, and it would just all make sense. And, like, you would just make all your money, you would get all your return back from that mold, plus more, which would subsidize the cost of these new molds for all these Robot Masters and stuff. And like it just the whole line just makes money. I just don't understand. Like, and Proto Man, you said it, like Proto Man would be super easy. You could use 80% of the Mega Man buck. What were we saying?
We hear you now. He said his mic was out. He was just checking it right now if it was back.
Oh shit, my bad. But like yeah, like for a Proto Man, you could use 80% of the buck, and then you just have a Proto Man. It's nuts. Like, and then I don't know. It's just super weird. It's like the Mega Man figure legacy is just weird altogether. I think the new the most that line has ever stretched was like in the 90s when they had those weird model kits.
Yeah.
And like, but the model kits were never, maybe there was like 2 or 3 out of like the 3 dozen that came out that were like from the games. Everything else was like a weird like fantasy of what they would look like with like hyper giga armor and stuff like that. So it's pretty wild. Like, I think the same guy must be in charge, and he's just like, what we did in the 90s didn't really work, so fuck it.
Can you guys hear me?
Something is
I can hear you, yeah. I can hear you, Bug, for sure. Yeah, somebody said in the chat, wasn't there Sentinel news on Mega Man? No Sentinel news so far, unfortunately, for Mega Man specifically, which kind of sucks. Just Action 66, and it's just those ride armors. And, you know, those ride armors look really cool. If those ride armors sell really well, hopefully we can get some other, that'll tell them that, like, yo, we want some new stuff for Mega Man. Like, if ride armors sell really well, maybe we'll get some some like bigger Mavericks. Like if we got like maybe a Spark Mandrill from Mega Man X1 or like a Sigma or something like that. Like an articulated Sigma would just be great.
Sign me up.
All right, be super great. That's it. I think Boog is having technical problems.
A quick question that I'm gonna fire off a few quick questions because there's some that are just so fast to answer. Has A.C.B.A. spoken to anyone or heard about NECA's new distribution plan since True is not in their home state of NJ anymore? Cerrone Games Go asked. No, NECA doesn't like us, and we're not always super fond of them. Really, our biggest tie to NECA is Fabio. I don't know, maybe if he talks to them at Comic-Con, he can ask, but they're not the biggest fans of us for obvious reasons. Have you seen Figma Bloodborne Hunter? Yes, it's good. Poncho, your thoughts?
Shit. I've seen it. It looks really great. I have it pre-ordered for the American release. It just didn't tie into anything that I was going to have in terms of importing for... I just didn't want to import them on AmiAmi and have to pay $20 EMS for one figure. So
yeah, I don't play the game, but if I did, that thing would be on order. As much as Figma frustrates me, it looks good.
It looks really good, and like the cool thing about that universe is like I know a lot of people like mix lines and stuff like that, but Bloodborne is a really good example of like if you mess with the lighting or like fudge the angle and stuff, you can make a lot of figures from a lot of different lines work with that Bloodborne Hunter figure. Like, like werewolf figures, I mean, obviously, but any kind of like crazy, like ghoulish looking shit will work with.
There's a lot. It was kind of like with the Sword Art Online stuff. Whenever you threw like monsters and stuff like that, it kind of worked.
Yeah.
What you guys talking about? My sound was like all fucked up. I don't know what was going on for like
Bloodborne.
Oh, Bloodborne.
The Bloodborne figure. And like fudging it with like different monsters from different figure lines and stuff.
Okay.
You know what I will say now that we're kind of on the topic, like if we're gonna give an award for any figure that's been like cross compatible with anything, let's give it to that Evolve monster. that gray monster that kind of is all muscly and has like the tusks and stuff like that. He pops up in a lot of people's figures as just like a generic monster, and that's
from what line?
I don't know. Like this, he's from a game called Evolve, which didn't do well at all. But he just looks like has like a really good.
From Funko.
Yeah, it's from and on top of that, it's from Funko. But he just looks like a generic figure. Like
yeah, he's like big, gray, hulking with like no eyes and has like spikes all over him.
Yeah, I'll screen share him real quick.
Oh, I know exactly who you're talking about. Okay, yeah.
Here's this guy. Most versatile figure. And if you're into fucking pops, if you're a degenerate, here's the pop version.
I think.
Of course.
If you're a degenerate.
Just kidding.
No, if I remember correctly, I think Todd like got a shitload of these figures for like great deals. Even though a lot of them broke. Still.
It's great. These guys are on clearance forever.
Because, Evolve. Everybody knows that game. Shit. There's another good question for you to answer, Poncho. I only know of one. I've never bought from him. But Thrilla Biscuit asks, do you know any DBZ figurehead sculptors?
Oh, shit. He's custom on Instagram and Facebook. He does some pretty great stuff. Right now he's like heavy into My Hero customs. He's doing a pretty great job too. But I see him do a lot of really great DBZ stuff. I mean, obviously there's Merlos, Fidel Merlos, Fairy Tale Customs. Dude's on fire. He makes really great premium head sculpts and just premium custom figures in general.
Yeah, and he mass produces at a fair amount too.
He sure does. There's a lot of guys overseas in China that are doing like some head sculpts. Like with these smaller guys, you just have to join like groups like SH Figure Arts USA or like Ageless Geeks and stuff like that. and they'll do production runs, and they'll just take like a mass amount of pre-orders, and then they'll just work on them for the next coming month or so. Well, similar to what I'm doing with the auras. Like, I'll just open up a wave of pre-orders, and then there's really no reason to do like a large update of what's going on.
Shout out to Ageless Geeks for sponsoring this year's Photo Combat tournament. Shout out to Alex, your brother.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, there we go. Alex Bluff.
Yep.
Man, the myth.
The legend. Greg Foder, this is actually a good topic. I don't think we've ever discussed them on here. He's asking, hope you guys haven't gone over them, but has anyone looked at those new highly articulated horses that are on BBTS? I think they're Vitruvian hacks. He says they're 1/18th scale, but I'm really hoping they can be fudged with other figures.
Well, I mean, they're only going to be fudged with other 1/18th scale figures.
Yeah, it's really hard. That Vitruvian hacks line is like really small.
Yeah.
I mean, hey, obviously, hope for the best, you know, but it's I wouldn't bet on it, sadly.
Yeah, the only thing you can really fudge with that is like some horses in the distance, or like some foreground horses. Like,
right. Yeah. Some
that's
force
gonna be your
perspective.
best bet.
maybe you could do like a shot of like someone getting shot off a horse, or someone flying off a horse, or whatever. If you want to spend big money, you could like pre-order this bad boy. The soul of Tiger General Zhang Yid, and the Wu's Hui horse scale figure set. It's a 112 scale figure horse, 300 buckaroonies. I don't think he's articulated though.
And you know, if anybody's ever looking for like a cheap way out with horses, just go to the Lord of the Rings figures. They're really not crazy expensive, especially if you only want like one or two, and they do the job enough.
For sure,
they're fine enough. You know,
a lot of people still seriously fuck with those Lord of the Rings horses, and they work relatively well.
My guts is literally on one right now on my shelf, and I'm looking at him dead in the eye.
Yeah, they work very well. So
is Revoltech doing horse? Revoltech is doing horses too, right? With their
they've done horses before, but they look really weird.
Yeah, they look super muscular. Like,
they look either super muscular, or like really malnourished.
Yeah, they look, and they're not like, you're not getting anybody on them. They don't. First of all, they don't come with a saddle or anything anyway. So
Kinda
it's like
wild horses.
They literally just wild horses. Yeah, basically.
They're that new knight line they're doing, where they have the armored knights. There's horses for that too. So that might be a viable option down the line.
Oh damn! I wonder how much they're going to be. I think their figures are like $35. So what would a horse be, like $65?
Possibly. It's that same line where they do like the skeletons and shit. So
yeah, like, that's not bad if it's well articulated and it doesn't look like some weird mythical horse that you can't fudge with other lines.
Yeah.
Right.
Pretty good. Well articulated, well sculpted. That wouldn't be bad.
You know what? It wouldn't be nuts for a third party company to just put out a line of fucking horses with saddles.
Sure. Yeah. Why not?
Give us a horse and saddle. Give us some good shit.
You know,
give the people what they want.
White horse, brown horse, black horse, different. You know, different.
Lock the doors and turn the lights down low because it's country time.
That's it. There you have it.
Right Leg Productions asks, can you ask the Hasbro guys about a 6-inch Joe line?
Sure, but you should stay tuned for tomorrow for that video where you can pose that question in the comments, so it's there, so I'll be able to refer to the video. But sure, I don't have any problem asking that. I mean, it seems like that's been a rumor for some years. So
we'll see. Speaking of that,
I think we've discussed this a couple of times too. But I think we all agree that if Mezco did Joe's, that'd be nuts too.
Oh yeah, that would be top-notch work.
Speaking of that, in the starting soon footage roll or whatever before the podcast starts, one of the videos is the chairman of the board coming up to you saying that you have a nice shirt on.
Oh right, yeah.
Nice shirt.
I'll send you one.
It's like, do you know who that is? Like, not really.
It's the chairman of the board. I'd love to send him a shirt. Favorite.
Word.
Instant classic. There's something I did want to say earlier in the podcast. When
You want to you want to send the chairman of Hasbro a $20 shirt, motherfucker? Yes, actually. Yes.
That's it.
Yes.
That same event is when we were at the Storm collectible booth. Remember when we were there and we were doing the tour and then the guy was messing with the Hulk Hogan and then you asked if he was out of hot water yet?
Yeah.
So we were taking the tour at the same time as a staff writer from Kotaku. I forgot what his name is, but he's the guy that always does the write-ups on toys. For those of you who don't know, Kotaku's like a huge video game like blog. But it was so funny that you mentioned the Hogan thing because he kind of like looked at you a little bit. It's because Kotaku and that whole network was in a huge legal battle with Hulk Hogan because they were the news outlet that leaked those tapes where he was being mad racist.
Oh shit!
Wow. I'll never, man.
I should have asked him where they.
You should have. You had the source right there.
Hilarious. That's funny.
Oh man, that's classic.
Yeah, Hogan. He was in trouble for that shit, but then he ended up suing the people that leaked his sex tape too, and he won.
And he totally won. Yeah.
Yeah.
The best lawyers.
Speaking of Storm collectibles and Hulk Hogan having sex, Ray S. asks, says that he would want to see Storm show off Injustice Batman. Storm has revealed that they have the Injustice line, so
yeah.
I would be really disappointed if they don't show off a cool amount of them during.
Well, you know what? They got to show us the official prototype for
Lobo
first. For Lobo first, yeah.
Yeah, stop fucking around, man. We don't want no more card pictures.
Because I could see. Well, that's going to be a highly sought after figure, man. When they drop that Lobo. I wonder if they'll go the distance and give us like a bike and all types of shit.
Yeah, I would really love that.
You know what? It wouldn't be out of the ordinary. They give us that big ass throne for fucking Shao Kahn.
If Mezco can make a bike and Storm has made a throne, they can fucking make a bike.
Yeah, no question, no question. And Mezco gave us a very nice bike for Dredd. So yeah.
Another quick and easy question from Reyes again is, what's the toughest SDCC exclusive to get? Let me tell you this with absolute certainty because I've had to do that for the past 3 years. Funko and Lego, nobody else even comes close. You have to stand in a line that is sometimes 3 miles long in 100-degree weather to get a chance at getting a free Lego figure that resells for insane money. And Funko is waiting all overnight for it. They're both the hardest. Nobody else comes close.
And Mezco will be the quickest to sell out, so that's pretty hard too. But as far as
you know what's crazy is that there's never anybody at the booth, but their stuff sells out so fast.
Yeah.
There's it's not crowded, but then all of a sudden you'll see the sign sold out. What? There's been nobody here all day.
Honestly, for you to get all the shit that you want, you have to be Seth MacFarlane or what's homeboy's name? I didn't mean to say Seth MacFarlane. The little short dude. What's his name?
Seth Green.
Seth Green. Yes. You got to be him or somebody comparable, basically, to just get everything, because they'll just take you around and just give you all the shit. But
yeah, or you know the best way to get stuff, if you're just a normal person, is just to be in a network of people. A few years ago, Lewis went down there with Wands. Him and Wands were one crew. Me and Emia, Brian, and Kevin were another crew.
Right.
Whatever they needed, we helped them, and whatever we needed, they helped.
That's the other thing. Yep, you got to be well connected, basically. Yep.
Yeah, you got it. If you don't have friends, it's going to be really tough.
Yeah.
They needed Funko stuff. I was waiting in Funko lines to resell that stuff. Lewis needed a couple of Funkos that didn't really sell for that much money anyways, and he really wanted them for his niece and nephew. So I passed it his way, and when I needed something else, he looked out for me. It's just how how things have to go.
And you gotta talk your shit, man. You gotta talk up other people, because there's always gonna be people that you're like waiting in line with that don't care about the shit that you care about, and vice versa. And you know, you could trade off shit. Like, all right, well, let me get this off of your ticket, or whatever the case may be. So,
oh man, that's like the #1 thing to do at Funko. Believe it or not, sometimes these Funko guys, they don't want the most expensive Funko. They just want to collect certain shit like weirdos.
mm-hmm.
They'll be like, "Hey, I'll give you the expensive one if you literally give me everything else." And I'm just like, "Yeah, fuck it, okay."
No problem.
Network, yeah, you're in the Hasbro line, dude. Sometimes there's a lot of chicks in the Hasbro line. All they want is, you know, fucking My Little Pony.
Yep.
And then you're just like, well, can you get me everything else? And I'll get you as many My Little Pony as you want.
To be fair, a lot of the fucking dudes be wanting My Little Pony.
Yeah. I'm being nice here. There's a lot of dudes that love My Little Pony.
That shit bugs me out. That's funny. All right, let's take one more question and get the fuck out of here.
Let's see what's a quick one. This is just a quick one for me to answer. What happened to True Sentinel? We don't know. Let's see.
Oh boy, hold on. I just.
Oh, did you find a good one?
No, it's quite the opposite. The SDCC exclusive for Mega Man is a keychain from the new show.
Oh my god!
Oh, Jesus!
The agony.
Terrible.
Oh, fuck.
Well, that's a good question that we got a little bit earlier. All these other ones are pretty much just people making statements. Christian Segura wanted to know what villains just across Marvel we want to see done by Mezco that they actually can make.
Say that one more time. I'm sorry.
What villains would you want from Mezco that can actually be made? You know, obviously not ones that they don't have the rights to.
I don't know what they got the fucking rights to, but my Mezco right now is a Doom for sure, but they don't got that locked down yet. What other villain from Mezco would I like to see?
I'd like to see a Kingpin from Mezco. I think that'd be pretty cool.
Sign me up. I would.
That would be pretty fucking dope, actually.
Be a good way for them to.
Man, the owner of Mezco looks like Pink Kingpin.
He sure does.
Is he actually the owner, or is he?
I'm not sure, but he's the figurehead.
Right, he's definitely the figurehead. He definitely looks like Kingpin, though. He's got a cane and every fucking thing. That's hilarious. His name is Drake.
Man. He's always so like jolly. Every
yeah,
event.
His name is Drake, I think, if I'm not mistaken.
I believe that's his name.
Not to be confused with the rapper.
This one don't got no kids that he's hiding. You know, we could go out on a really good photo question.
Oh, we didn't even look at any photos. Let's pick a couple photos real quick between the three of us, and we could go and take that question and talk about some shit, and we could get out of here.
While you're looking up the photos, you can just do this question, I guess. So we have something to do. The guy says, how do you judge non-traditional comic book A.C.B.A. shots like Transformers or Gundam, etc., etc.?
Well, I don't know if anything can be considered non-traditional, really, because at the end of the day, every damn thing has had a comic book. Transformers have had plenty of comic books.
Manga is Japanese comic books.
Yeah, and manga is Japanese comic book.
Manga literally means comic book.
And it's funny because we were just talking about doing some manga style cutouts, like a special cutout pack too. So
sign me up for 7 packs.
So yeah, that would be cool. So yeah, I mean, it is what it is. You know, I'm cool with whatever. If it's clean and it's eye catching, then let's do it. I don't care.
And you know, one thing to use. I don't know if that was like if that was geared towards the guy that was doing like big cutouts in his shot. You know, sometimes it just works. Obviously, don't beat a dead horse. That guy's posted a lot of pictures.
We talking about Hi Takan, or that's his Instagram name. The dude that's doing the Transformer shit with the big cutouts and shit, right?
Possibly. I mean, I think that's his name. I'm happy that we're just getting Transformer shots, but definitely, you know, don't beat a dead horse. You know, you do it so many times, it doesn't feel as impactful.
You know what's funny? I've been sitting here dreading the fact that I want to transform all of my Autobots and and hoping somebody would just come over and transform them shits for me for like the past 3 months right now.
I told you, just send them to me and I can transform them.
I want to transform my shits,
by heart.
and I want to get a shot. I want to get a nice group shot with my Autobots. But yeah. So pictures. We want to anything you guys saw this past week that y'all want to highlight real quick? How'd y'all do it last week?
I just went through the group and I just picked like a couple of the most recent ones that stood out. Well, I did. So last week, my method was talk about one that I thought was really great, and then talk about one that could use some improvement, and then gave tips on how to improve it.
All right, cool. Let's do it.
So I already have one that I think is really great, and I'm searching for one that could probably use some improvement.
While you're doing that, I'll mention that I still cannot get that Godzilla picture out of my head.
So
that was some great work. That was so good. I can't stop thinking about it. It's a great picture.
Yeah, it was a nice picture, and it got featured this on Saturday Salvo actually too. So.
Woo, Saturdays Salvo. Woo.
So good. Okay, I guess I'll start.
Okay.
I'll start with this guy right here. This picture by Muhammad Yassin,
who was the runner-up for Photo Combat, by the way.
Hell yeah, dude, super good. Like, this is a really great photo, just in general. He follows like rules of thirds very well. Like, even though Colossus is not the center point of the photo, he's just a very bright spot in the actual photo, so it works really well with rule of thirds. Obviously, the Infinity Gauntlet is one of the main focus of the photo, so it's perfectly in. It's in focus. I know it might sound a little condescending to what I said last week, where if you have a really shallow depth of field, it might work against you if your entire figure isn't in focus. But when it comes to this Deadpool, it does work, because even though Deadpool is one of the focuses of this picture, and he's not fully in focus, the main part of Deadpool that you want to attract your eyes to is his face, and that's perfectly in focus, and it works really well. And then just the photography techniques in general with this, if you look at his seaside right here, this is such a great example of, like, his main photo looks so good. Such a professionally shot photo. Like, the colors are really good. The depth of field is really good. And then you look at his seaside, and then, to the untrained eye, this could have been a really shit photo from his seaside, honestly. But, like, he's got all the elements here. Undoubtedly, his seaside looks like it was taken with a potato, unfortunately. But, like, but he's got, like, the lasers and stuff right there. So you can see everything. You can see he's got his light sources, the light sources behind the gauntlet, so that's where you get that really nice silhouette of light behind the gauntlet. He's got some gel behind this one. I can't remember if he goes into detail of how he got the lasers to show up. I'm pretty sure he used like smoke or fog or something like that. He has a V-side as well. But I don't really want to play that at the moment. But I think this is a really good one.
Oh yeah, that is so dope.
My only issue with the way this looks is that he could have pushed the forearm into the bicep a little bit more. That ball joint is kind of like nuts right there.
This guy right here. Yeah, if you really want to dive deep into it, yeah, that's a really good point for sure. I don't know. Like, you could go either way. Maybe his posing looks a little weird, but like in continuity of Deadpool's character, he's like a weird dude. So like, it's not really out of character for him to look mad awkward right now. Yeah, honestly,
no doubt.
So that's it for this one. I picked this guy right here. He's also competing in Summer Shots as well for a picture that we could talk like improvements on. I guess. I really like the idea of this photo. I've experimented myself with doing something like this. Like, I love the idea of doing that still motion capture of like a lot of like high flying punches. So like in manga you see it a lot or if you pause like an anime or something, the frame will have like 8 or 7 fists coming
Shit,
out of it.
didn't they even have a figure from, was it JoJo's?
JoJo's,
JoJo's
and
Bizarre
also
Adventure.
one from Saint Seiya.
Yeah, Saint Seiya as well. They have like
Right.
accessories for that too.
Uh-huh.
But this is a really good way to execute that as well. Like the different, just like take the forearms off. You can tell he's using glass and stuff like that here. I would have tried possibly a different angle with this. Like it is a really, really tight shot, and I think the tightness of this shot kind of takes away a little bit from the whole photo. I think if like you kind of space these figures out, not in terms like the Wolverine is obviously a little further away from this Iron Fist, but like if you put this Wolverine maybe like further out here, or this Iron Fist further out here, maybe even tilted the camera to get a little bit more, you know, dynamicism or whatever out of this shot, would have worked pretty well. Also, the lighting for this figure, for this shot, I think could have used some work too. Not necessarily just lighting the figures, but when you're using glass, you really have to pay crazy attention to your lighting. Because not only are you worried about, you know, lighting your figures correctly, but the more you light your figures, the more light will bounce off the glass, and then you will see elements from the rest of your room in the glass. So you can kind of see reflections happening in the glass. Whether or not that may be the cutout or like the background, you can't know. But since you know it's glass, your mind thinks, oh, is this an element from like the rest of his room and stuff like that. So I think for this, my advice would be to like, don't make it so tight, like an experiment with different angles as well. The idea is there for sure. Looks like the idea is super solid, but just some more, you know, some real like TLC would have definitely elevated this for sure.
All right. All right, let me look at one thing here. Make sure my screen is sharing. So I don't even know if I can.
While you get that set up, Fictional Arts asks, what do y'all think about the Digimon Angelomon Figuarts figure? I don't think there's a Figuarts Angelomon, is there, Rick?
No, I think he's referring to the other one.
Yeah, it's the Digimon Spirits, correct? Yes.
Yes.
So it's not Figuarts. It is by Bandai, so that's, and it does look like it has Figuarts like joint technology. But it's this guy right here. I won't bother screen sharing, but I'll share it for the guys on the podcast. This guy right here looks super sick. I have it coming super soon. I'll repeat what I said earlier. Like, my favorite thing about this figure is like all this kibble back here, you can take it off, and so you just have like a traditional Angelomon figure, which looks really good. And from what I hear, the figure itself is actually pretty good, so I'm pretty stoked to get it in hand. I'll let you guys know next week or the next podcast for sure, and we'll go from there. All right, sick.
Man, look forward to that then. Woo!
Can you guys see this?
You had it earlier.
I had it?
Yeah.
Hold on a second.
All right, there you go.
You
There
see
you go.
that?
Yeah, you're good.
Now good, right?
Yep.
All right, so I want to look at this, which I thought had great framework. But it's that kind of the age-old thing with is Photoshop allowed in a group and this and that. And like, listen, Photoshop is totally allowed. You can do whatever you want as far as Photoshop. There is a thin line between great Photoshop and awful Photoshop, though. And this is pretty decent Photoshop. But Photoshop is never going to be able to mask whether or not you can actually pose, whether or not you can actually frame, and your staging is on point. And just looking at this initially, it's very eye-catching with, you know, the highlights that he made here in Photoshop and stuff like that. But upon closer inspection, there's a lot of issues with the posing. One of the main things being Thanos' arm here, which looks kind of nuts. Spidey's pose looks nuts. You know, and just the framing all around here is not that great. But this is one of those pictures that will initially get a lot of attention and likes and stuff like that. But upon closer inspection, it's probably not as good as some of the other more basic things on the board, even with the added Photoshop and stuff. If you strip this down and you took away all of the shopping, what you would be left with is a pretty poorly posed photo here. And I still like it. You know, I don't hate the photo, but it just goes to show that, like, the foundation of whatever you want to do that's great is always going to be rooted in great posing, great line of sight. What is Star-Lord looking at? He's not really looking down at Thanos here. It looks like he's looking straight on at us, the viewer. You know, so it's a lot of little fine tuning that he could have did here.
That arm is terrible.
Yeah, that arm is nuts. You know what I'm saying? But it's a lot of little fine tuning that he could have did here to make this much better. But, you know, somebody with an untrained eye or somebody that's not looking really deep into this will immediately hit like. I'm not going to like this, though. I'm just not going to, because there's too many imperfections. There's too many errors here, in my personal opinion. But I don't hate it. I like the framework. I like where it could go and where it could be or whatever. So, all right, so there's that. I guess I'm starting out with something that...
The other thing, while you're on that, the other thing about Photoshop is...
Yeah, got it. I'll probably...
What makes it worse is when you do use Photoshop and you act like you didn't use it. Just keep it real. Don't lie. Just not Photoshop, and then when we ask for a seaside, it's like, I'm not home right now. I'll be home in a couple days, though. Like, you know, just keep it real. You use Photoshop, okay? Don't lie about it, because we always know.
Right. You know. So, yeah, there's that. I wanted to look at something else here. Here's another shot from Mo that P just featured. Just this laser technique was really, really nice. I see NECA had featured that, so I just want to look at that real quick. But there was another shot that I was just looking at. Oh, this is really nice.
Ooh, spicy.
This is really nice, and but this is sort of that situation where less could be more. I don't know why he really needed this face hugger down here on the floor. I don't think he needed that. The smoke here, the lighting, the whole framing and everything looks really, really nice. But I would have liked to see the alien maybe kind of like leaning forward a bit. You know, they kind of, everybody looks real upright. But again, this is another issue with posing, where he could have sold this just a little bit better with just a little bit more dynamic posing. If he had the alien leaning a little bit forward and this guy maybe taking another step back, then that would have really, really sold us. But I do like a lot of Eugenio's pictures. I do like what he's doing here. And obviously, this is natural smoke. You know, this is not photoshopped or anything like that. But I do really, really like the lighting on that. I thought that was nice. And I guess I'll sneak in one more thing here. Got another question down there while I'm looking?
Not a question, there's a correction. Owner of Mezco is Matty Mez.
Matty Mez, okay. Yeah, it's not Drake.
Kingpin is not the owner, he's special projects guy. Interesting.
Yeah, he's always like the head of the booth and stuff like that. He's always the one that people always answer to. I guess
hits from the raft.
Like that, the real owners just don't need to be there when they have someone like Kingpin around.
And just to look at this real quick, a lot of people are like, because these things are so hard to build, the Nova Revel, the ubiquitous sets, people will build something and they will use that shit 30,000 times before they build something else. So I've been seeing this a lot too with these Nova Revel sets. Like, people are really using the same scene over the same backdrop over and over and over again. So you can see this is the same, pretty much the same exact setup. This is something that we don't really want to see in a group. He could have used this shot as a B-side to the other shot or vice versa, basically. He didn't need a totally separate post.
Honestly, I think this should be the A-side.
Right. This could actually probably be the A-side, and the other one could have been the B-side. No question about that. So that's something to think about. You know, if it's from the same exact scene with the same figures, you don't need a separate post for that. You pretty much holding the board up as far as that goes. This was...
If you really want to forcibly put a shot up twice, wait a couple months. Nobody's gonna care. But you know, you do it the exact same day or the
same week. Then yeah, it's very noticeable. This one was nice. This was really well received on Instagram. Sarah Connor figure, and then he's got the what's this? Jim Gordon from the DC. What line is that? I don't know, but he's here reenacting a scene from Terminator 2. But this is great. This is great staging, great framing. The light right here is nice. You know, and it looks exactly like a scene from the movie. The only thing I may have done here was maybe done something with his hands, maybe put something in his hands because of the way that they're kind of posed here. You can use the figure's natural attributes and just do different things just to kind of fill the space and make it look more natural. Like he could have put something in a hand, put paper in a hand, or whatever the case may be. But this was
paper.
Right, you know. But this was really, really nicely done, and I don't really have any gripes with this photo. I think this was a perfect photo, and I think that it could have. I think that it deserves more love than it got. Oh, I wanted to just show one last thing.
We spoke about that figure last week as well. Gave it a lot of high praise too.
Which one?
The Sarah Connor one.
Oh, about that figure. Okay. Yeah,
oh, sorry.
About
shot.
that photo. Oh, okay. All right. So let me get more current. This is the last thing I want to look at. Let me talk about this. I want to talk about gimmicks over solid display work.
While you're pulling that up, somebody asked, "What do we think of like those 1/12 scale coup model figures of like those generals and those samurais and stuff like that?"
I think they look nice.
I think they look nice too. A little premiumly priced. What are you saying, Rick?
I said I'm not going to buy them, but they look good.
Okay, like a million miles away. Yeah, I think they look super cool too. It's just they are pretty expensive. I'd love to. I just wish if they all didn't come out at the same time, I'd love to just get one and see see if it's really worth it.
I would probably buy one if they weren't so expensive.
Like $200, right? Isn't it? Something like that.
Yeah. I just can't afford that kind of stuff. You know, I buy too much already.
Rick's trying to ball on a budget here. What are you guys doing to him?
Yeah, come on, keep it together.
All right, so this is the last one I want to talk about. We talked about one of this guy's other photos from a couple weeks back. He's been trying to been trying to hit one out of the park with this Sandman for a while, and he got one a couple weeks ago. I think we talked about it. And it was probably one of the fastest rising picks that we ever had in the group. It got up to over 1,500 likes in one day, basically, which was unheard of. So this is him still chasing that high with the same exact figures. And, well, I guess he changed out the Spider-Man, though.
There's a bunch of
Spider-Man here. But he's got a bunch of these photos, and now he added the Photoshop Spider Sense, and it's pretty much the same sort of theme, and he's just chasing this gimmick instead of actually putting in solid display work. And again, your posing is going to be the foundation for whatever you're doing. You can see he doesn't even have this left bicep rotated right. He's so focused on trying to get that one, picture that's going to blow up and whatever the case may be, that he's not really taking his time to really come with solid posing and a solid pick. I think this is like, I just don't think it's good. I don't think it's good. I don't think it's as good as the other picture that he put up, and I didn't even think that one was that that great, but you know, he's not really focused on solid display work. He's more focused on you know, getting quick likes, and you know, I'm not going to fall for that. Me personally, I'm not going to fall for that. I'm going to know if you actually took the time out to put some, and don't get me wrong, I don't think that he did not take time to do this, because he got down there in the dirt and, you know, framed it up nicely or whatever the case may be. But the posing on Spider-Man sucks, and it's pretty much the same type of thing that he was going for. And this could pretty much be a B-side to whatever he did before that got 1,500 likes or whatever. And I saw this posted across social media, and a lot of different sites featured it and whatever. But yo, I'd like to think that A.C.B.A. has a little more integrity as far as posting things that's actually really solid display work, as opposed to something that just got a lot of likes, basically. So, you know, I just wanted to talk about that for a second and say that, you know, something like this is probably not going to get featured by us, you know, no matter how many likes it got. You know what I'm saying? And it's up to 242 for this one. Not nearly as much as the other one, but I want to see this guy really buckle in and really put together some solid display work. If you search his name in a group and you look at it, he's been trying to get something with this Sandman for the longest before he got that to that 1,500, and it was the same thing over and over and over again. So yeah, there's that, and I think that's it. And I like Kel's work too, and this made me think about my own picture that I put up a week or so ago, and I kind of wish I would have went for maybe a straight on angle like this, but I don't like the way Thanos kind of looks like he's leaning and upright walking here, and I don't like that it's a black background instead of sort of like Foggy how it looked in the movie. But I love the lighting on Thanos and her, but I think he could give this about 20 more minutes and really make that phenomenal. All right, I'm done. I talked about 5 pictures. Rick, you got anything?
No, I'm good. You guys talked about it.
He's keeping it funky. All right, it's 10:30 Eastern time. Thank you guys for hanging out with us, man. Another solid episode. Obviously, Fabio had to cut out early, but his information for his Instagram is in the comments below. And P, you got anything you want to plug?
Nope. just working a lot. I'm wrapping up the first wave of production on those auras. Depending on my schedule for the next couple of weeks regarding work, I might open up a second wave of orders as well. So I guess keep an eye out on my Instagram for that. If you ordered auras in the first wave, they are all being painted as we not as I speak, but as you listen to this, they're all being painted. I'm just gonna ship them all out at once. That way, everybody gets theirs at once. Everybody gets to enjoy it all at once, instead of just like fragmenting them all separately and stuff. But that's basically it for me.
All right.
Spanish.
P is the plug as far as this new format for the podcast goes. So if you guys like that, then you got to give them the credit. I'm gonna just plug 2 things real quick. A.C.B.A. Summer Shots is still running on Instagram through July 19th. So you can just go to the A.C.B.A. Instagram and look at one of our previous posts to get all the information you need for that. There's 3 chances to enter, 3 chances to win as far as the 3 different themes. And visit the A.C.B.A. website to order the current cutout pack that's on sale and to enter our 2 fundraisers that are going right now, where you could win the Walgreens exclusive thing and or the Monster Venom Build-A-Figure wave. All of the information for that will be in the description below. Don't miss out on an opportunity to win either one of those, that full wave or the thing figure. And make sure you get an A.C.B.A. cutouts pack, because this is going to be a one and done for this particular set. It's the Eternity Conflict set. And that's all I'm plugging. Like I said, tomorrow look for that video where you can post your questions for me to pose to the Hasbro people at San Diego Comic-Con. And that's it. We out of here. We've been going for quite some time. My girl is shaking her fist like the monkey from Family Guy. And it's time for me to get off and get some dinner. So thanks for hanging out. As always, rate, comment, and subscribe. Don't forget to hit the bell down there. And until next time, peace. It's on you, Peter. Stop.